You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the three hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello there and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hello everyone and welcome live to another Thursday night live for the first time with Mr. Terry Frost. Terry, how we doing? Welcome.
Not too bad for a winter in the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah, I'm doing great. Got a lot of movies being sent to me, so I'm a very happy little person.
We'll get to cover a bunch of those in just a few minutes. First, tell everybody about your channel and what they'll find on Terry Talks Movies.
Find me talking and going a lot, talking about movies, doing some unboxings, talking about classic films. I'm putting together some things about small subgenres, which I'm kind of happy with. Things like Mondo movies and Giallo movies. I'm doing little videos about that. Got a few of those kind of things planned. Been doing it for a while, and I'm slowly getting slightly better at it.
I would agree. I think there's a lot of stuff that you've been doing lately that I've appreciated. A lot of movies that I love that you've been talking about. One thing I will point out, what's the best way to say this without making you rant too hard? You used to be better without the politics. Does that help?
Don't do that. It's engagement. I get so many right-wing nut jobs ranting and raving every time I mention Trump, and you're going to get it now. But every time I do that, it's engagement. But I get so many people who are totally on a somewhat different alternate universe than the rest of us, and I usually put them on my Facebook to let everybody know the kind of nutters I get. But, you know, it's part of the game. You're going to get people who disagree with you. If they do it politely, I've got no problem with it. If they don't do it politely, I'll mock them and block them.
As you should. All that to say that I believe Terry and I are exactly on the same page, and that film has always been and will always be inherently political. And if you cannot understand that or believe in that, you're probably in the wrong hobby.
Absolutely.
You are lucky enough to be in a very different place than I am right now. You are in Melbourne, and that means that we are going to be talking about Aussie cinema tonight. How do you like living in Australia?
Well, I haven't lived anywhere else. I've been to other places, but it's fine. We've got socialised healthcare. We've got gun control. We've got the best coffee in the world. What more does one need? Yeah.
Physical media, which is why we're going to be covering that a lot tonight. But thankfully, you got a lot of that down there, too. You got multiple companies that are crushing it. Umbrella, Imprint, one of my favorite people in the world, John Matthews, running New Wave Video down there.
Yeah. And there are also weird little other ones like Madman and things like that, mostly doing anime these days and odd things. But, yeah, it's quite rich the way we've got all of them tucked in this one corner of the planet.
Yeah, it's a decent place for physical media because the rights are very cheap compared to other countries to pick up some of these films. And seemingly, people all over the world are still willing to buy them. So at that point, you may as well just try to save some money and get it created then. Love it.
Absolutely.
As we go in to talk about Aussie films and pickups and recent watches and all that, people are going to want to know if they've never been to your channel. What type of stuff are you into? What are some of your favorite movies?
Well, there are so many. I mean, classic Hollywood stuff, The Bad and the Beautiful, 2 Weeks in Another Town, Citizen Kane, all the usual ones, Third Man. But I'm also big on obscure Japanese stuff like the Tora-san series. I like French cinema much more than you do. and just a little bit of everything. And what I do most like is discovering new stuff, going down the rabbit holes, and coming up with a lot more than just rabbit shit. And that stuff really, if I find a new country doing a new kind of movie, I will try to find as much as I can and appreciate it. Now, but there are things that don't work, things like Paul Naschy films from Spain. I don't really dig them. But it's okay. I tried them out. They went to my taste, and I move on.
Interesting. I was going to ask for an example of one of those, but you answered that early. So what are some other ones that you've discovered recently that you've loved?
Well, I have to bring up my letterbox now because I've got so many.
What a helpful tool, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little New Zealand thing, letterboxed. First movie I watched this year was a nudie film from the 1950s, but that's okay. What have I been watching lately? Let's see. I did watch Once a Thief with Chow Yun-fat, a John Woo movie. It's a comedy. Yeah, I got that one from Imprint. And I watched, they also released Raise the Titanic, that old film with Richard Jordan and Jason Robards in it, before they discovered that the Titanic had split in half. I saw Supergirl yesterday, and it's going to so piss off the right-wing nut job incels. And they're already doing it. And things like The Critical Drinker and that are hammering it. But it's an okay movie. I've kind of got used to watching movies that aren't with me, that I'm not the center of them. I'm not the target demographic for a movie. This is a movie for women and girls who like comic books and who are comic book geeks. And I like it for that. I think one of the things I'll do without a spoiler is Kara Zor-El's origin story is much better than Superman's. It's stronger. It's more emotionally based, and they do it really well in this movie. And Millie Alcock, the star of Supergirl, is just fantastic in the role.
That is great to hear. I hope to be able to see it soon. We're going to a theater for a different movie this weekend. Sadly, I don't get to go see my precious Jackass movie that I want to see this weekend either. But I hope to see both of those here fairly soon. Okay, so we talked about some of those. Let's go into what you've been watching outside of that. What have you been enjoying at home recently?
Let's see. I actually binged a lot of Avengers movies for no good reason. I was just feeling lazy. I had seasonal affect disorder. I just watched like tons of Iron Man and Hulk and the Avengers for no good reason. And then I watched some other things. I watched Shelter with Jason Statham because there are times when you just need Jason Statham to elbow somebody in the face.
That's true.
And it's a good, honest Statham movie. It doesn't pretend to be anything more than it is. And I kind of respect that in a weird way. I watched the new Red Sonja movie, which is surprisingly okay. It works really well. It's got beautiful world building. The main character, who was also in Coralie Fargett's Revenge, is good in the role. Lots and lots of world building, lots of really bad villains, really good heroes. It gives us that Hyborian age, the age of Conan and Red Sonja, better than any movie I've seen. It gives you a sense that this is another time and things were very different then. And I respect that a lot. What else have I watched? I watched Uzumaki, the Japanese horror film about the village is kind of being haunted by spirals. I did get that one as well. And an Australian film called Diabolic, which is actually set in America. But the horror in it is based on Mormon mythology because one of the writers escaped from Mormonism. And it's a really freaky movie for that reason because the ideology and the belief system there lends itself very much to horror movies and really is an untapped area for horror movies. The Catholics have had a go at horror movies. Other Christian denominations have. But this Mormon one, Diabolic, is an interesting little film.
Interesting. Not seen that one. Been hopefully interested in seeing that one here soon because that's gotten 2 or 3 different releases over the last decade or so of physical media. So yeah, very very curious about that.
Recommended.
Good. Recommended. All right. So I have just a few that I want to throw out here. I'd share about some of the stuff I watched with my kids, and with it being Father's Day here this last weekend. didn't really want to go do anything crazy, so I just showed them a bunch of kind of important movies for the first time.
Cool.
One day they saw Princess Bride, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and
Good.
The Lost Boys, all in one day. And I feel like the oldest one had his mind blown a little bit, and somehow the youngest was a little bit bored in a couple places. But they both say they enjoyed all three, which is that's a win.
Yeah, the Cinemaniacs here in Melbourne showed Lost Boys on the big screen about a month ago, along with the 1958 Hammer Dracula.
Yeah.
And that was fun, seeing it on the big screen. I saw it with Sal because she really loved Lost Boys and fell in love with Keith Sutherland watching that. So we got to see it on the big screen, which was a lot of fun.
That I mean, I've never seen. I should say we saw half of Princess Bride on the big screen and had to leave because of the theater having I think it was a fire alarm that got pulled that day or something, and I never got to finish it on the big screen. But the other two I've still not seen on a big screen.
Inconceivable. Yeah,
it really was. Pickups. I am so eager to see what you've been getting because my goodness, you get all kinds of fun imprint stuff.
Yeah, I got about a meter height of imprint stuff. I did get this one, which is a couple of directors who have migrated to Australia for some reason around the late 1990s from Hong Kong. They're kind of erotic movies, and there's one called Amorous Woman of Tang Dynasty, and the other one is The Reincarnation of Golden Lotus. Very different films. They're not the best Shaw Brothers movies ever, but I like the fact that they got a release here in Australia. And one of the things Imprint's doing is doing a lot of Hong Kong obscurities that just haven't hit anybody's radar. Everybody's been watching Jackie Chan. Everyone's been watching What We Have of Bruce Lee and Sammo Hung. But these things are kind of interesting. And they're in that good box set that Imprint does. Each of them on Blu-ray. Yeah, there you go. So I watched one of those. Haven't watched the other one. I'm not going to go through everything I did because I got 17 things from Imprint. John Woo's Bullet in the Head on 4K. Got that. That was fun to get.
I've still never seen Bullet in the Head. That is one I'm very, very curious to see here soon.
I haven't seen it lately. I saw it on VHS. We got Chow Yun-fat in Prison Fire 1 and 2.
Need that one too.
Hang on, let me put this center. Yeah. Saw the comedy John Woo did with Chow Yun-fat, Once a Thief, which has got some really weird cultural stuff that just doesn't play to a Western audience. But it's got good John Woo scenes, and it's got that wonderful John Woo thing of the infinite bullet glitch until the plot needs the guy to run out of bullets. So Chow Yun-fat shoots 2 guns, 800 bullets. Oh shit, I'm out. That kind of stuff. And that's it. I'll give you a couple more. I won't go through everything, but I'll give you a couple more. I mean, yeah, I did get the Philip Seymour Hoffman box set and the Rachel Weisz one. But Tales of Adventure number 11 with 55 Days of Peking, The Black Knight, Taras Bulba, and Genghis Khan. We got that one. And the last one I'll show you because I don't want to brag too much. Youth Gone Wild, all these 1950s juvenile.
I need that one so bad. That is like one of my most exciting releases coming out right now.
Yeah, Live Fast, Die Young, Juvenile Jungle, Young and Wild, Teenage Crime Wave. So lots of 30-year-old teenagers with switchblades. So I'm looking forward to diving into that one. I think I might binge that one when I'm in the mood for just chilling out.
Have you seen any of those before this release?
No, I haven't, but I've seen a lot of juvenile delinquent movies. I'll do one more, but this one I love. TV Movie of the Week, Volume 4. Is it? 5, sorry. Because it's got Madam Sin with Robert Wagner playing a spy, and I'm into that. Killdozer with Clint Walker, based on a Theodore Sturgeon story, and the UFO incident, which has Estelle Parsons and gone blank, but yeah, basically supposedly based on a true story, but not really. Good choices this time around. I'm very happy with those 3.
I don't know what it was, but 4 or 5 months ago, they seemed to take their output from insane to like how can they possibly keep up with this, and then they've done it every month since then, and it's intimidating and overwhelming, and I don't think people understand that it is beyond crazy that a company that literally, I think their first release was May of 2020, and they're already at spine like 500 and something.
607 if you're going by that.
I was so off. Jesus.
I got a poster from them when they reached 300.
Oh, yeah.
With all of the titles on it, yeah. But they're doing crazy. And from a reviewing point of view, it's difficult too because you can't watch all the movies before you review them. There's a 1 month window when you're supposed to review things they send you. And if they send me 17 things, realistically, I can unbox them and cherry pick a few to watch.
Yeah.
And that's the way I've had to go about it. It's slightly different, but eventually I'll watch all of the good stuff. And but yeah, it is overwhelming. Like, do I pick this one or don't I pick this one? It's one of the happiest problems I've got.
No, I mean, not only that, you say they send you 17 things. The funny part is 5 of them inevitably are box sets with at least 2 or 3 films.
Yeah.
Well, I got some imprint to talk about too.
Cool.
Let's see.
Look forward to it.
Mine are some of the smaller ones that you've probably been getting to. First, from here in the States, this is just from Alliance. I was very keen on checking this out. Went with my mom to AMC theater screening of Rocky Horror Picture Show a few months ago. And then this got announced. Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror. Definitely been wanting to see this, so got that in. And then I was going to say 4 imprints. It's actually 3 imprints and a Via Vision, which is also imprint technically.
Yeah.
The Boys from Brazil just came out from them. Been very curious about this one. Gregory Peck, Laurence Olivier, can't really go wrong there.
That's a mad film.
You talked about a bunch of imprint Asia titles. One I was keen on is The Missing Gun. This one looks pretty damn good.
I got that one too. Yeah.
Nice. I just wish there was extras. This one didn't get anything, and then some of their other releases get 47 things. So, and then Raise the Titanic, I think, came out at the same time as this one and was announced at the same time because it was some of these disaster transportation type movies, and I had never seen it, and everybody raved about it, so had to get Cassandra Crossing.
Cassandra Crossing, huh?
Look at that. Have only ever heard just incredible things about this. Some good stuff on here, including a visual essay by Jeremy Smith. Also an interview with one of the researchers on here. Yeah, looks great. And then the Via Vision, I had never seen the remake, so I wanted to check out When a Stranger Calls. I'm actually quite sympathetic-ish to the remakes that came out in the early 2000s, considering my age. A lot of those just hit me at the exact perfect time. And then last thing that came in this week is a friend of the channel, Aaron West's new book, The A24 New Wave. Big, thick book that he wrote on A24, and came out at perfect timing, right as A24 announced that they got AI money invested in them. So yay, fuck A24.
Ooh, had to shoot yourself in the balls, yeah.
Yeah, just wonderful timing. Good job, Aaron. I appreciate you. All right.
I've got one more. Joe Don Baker release. Framed. Love it.
I am a big Joe Don Baker apologist. I feel like he gets, we'll just straight say it, he gets shit on for so many things, and he is always at least entertaining and sometimes genuinely great.
Yeah. Charlie Varick Mitchell's fun because it's so bad. He was in that movie he did, Wacko, the comedy horror.
I like Wacko a lot, yeah.
Wacko is mad, and I love it.
So tonight, after our announcements, we're going to be covering Aussie films. Australia, theoretically, not a film industry that gets highlighted a ton unless you're in like the cult and exploitation circles because of exploitation stuff being so big. But they've done a lot of stuff for years. How do you feel about Australian cinema overall?
I'll give you the history lesson because this is interesting. First 30 years of the 20th century, Australia was punching as hard as America was. But then America sent a whole bunch of execs over to Australia, and they basically bribed state and federal governments to show more American movies because our industry was hitting hard. We had tons of musicals, we had serious films, we had a lot of stuff, and people loved their own seeing themselves on cinema. Yeah. But then the bribes came in. America took over. World War II hit, which knocked things on the arse. there was a trickle of stuff in the 40s and 50s. And then for about 12 years, there wasn't a movie made in Australia until censorship loosened up. The Whitlam government came in, Labor government, after a long conservative run, and they started financing movies. That's why we got exploitation. So we're still recovering from basically the people who took money in the 1930s from Hollywood interests. Yeah. We're still nearly a century later recovering from that.
I mean, not only that, there's things like this is going to sound all braggy, I guess, but earlier this year when I visited and was able to go to the home of Crawford in Wollongong, outside of Sydney there. I think I brought this up when we came back and we started talking about that, but that was originally owned by like the Murdochs, I believe, and then sold to Crawford is his last name, and he's been owning it since literally like 1959 or something.
Yeah, Hector Crawford was the original guy, and they did a ton of TV stuff which still hasn't been released. They did on their YouTube channel release the first episode of a whole bunch of series, and I binge watched them, and that was kind of cool. But they did a spy series called Hunter in the 1960s. They did a lot of almost documentary style cop shows, private eye shows, tons of things, historical dramas. It just went to town. And they're kind of being precious about releasing them on physical media. They'll release them, but they'll charge an extraordinary amount for getting a box set of like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
They're shooting themselves in the foot. If they cut a deal with, say, Viavision or with Umbrella, they could make bank, but they just don't seem to have that business nous for this industry.
Well, and I may be wrong if I say this. I believe they've only really released all those on DVD. They've pretty much not touched HD at all.
Yeah, they released a movie they did based on a TV series called The Box, which was set in a TV studio, and it only came out on DVD. If they had cut a deal with Umbrella or Imprint, it would have got a big release, and then that may have parlayed into them releasing the episodes as well.
Well, it doesn't help that a lot of their shows, too, are literally like 600 episodes.
You've got a good run there. Get a 600-episode box set this big,
With Umbrella, it would be the size of a shelf, absolutely, on the way to you.
Yeah, you get a release with a bar fridge attached to it.
I still want that. Oh man, I'm blanking on the. You'll probably remember the title of the airline black box release that they did. That's got like 700 episodes or whatever.
Yeah, that was one of their like reality TV things. Yeah, I remember that one. I forget what it was because I never watched the show. It was one of those airport shows where the only people that get arrested by customs are not white people. And there's a lot of shows like that. Yeah.
Okay, well, we got an air crash investigation. Was that it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Fat Man. I always feel bad saying that. Okay, so tonight is kind of an interesting show because we have genuinely like a lot of major announcements to cover this week. You kind of came on during a very heavy-hitting week, but I really wanted to, before we even bring up any announcements, Australia's got we talked about Imprint and Umbrella and New Wave and Madman and some of the other smaller ones. They've got a lot going on there, but Australia classically over the last few years has been extra shafted, not only by the studios, but by import costs, by the amount of things being censored sometimes, by the amount of titles being blocked over there. And now we're at the situation where like Disney pulled out entirely. So some of these major titles that a lot of people really love and still go to the cinemas and support in Australia, they can't buy on physical media unless they have them sent from some other country. How do you as an Australian feel about physical media in 2026?
I'll start off with fuck Disney, but I had to get an import because I wanted Fantastic Four First Steps because retrofuturism, gotta love that. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they're kind of testing things out to go. If we withdraw from physical media, we're using Australia as the petri dish for that.
Yeah,
and they want everybody to rent everything forever. That's the end game for these studios. And all the studios are being bought up by billionaire oligarchs and being incorporated with one another. And those guys just want the cash flow. They don't care about physical media. They don't even care about movies. They care about the money. And I think that's the big issue. I think Imprint and Umbrella are doing us a great service by bringing things out. And also, when I do my show and tell, I've got some obscure Australian movies that aren't big films. They didn't have big budgets. They didn't have big stars.
Yeah.
But they're telling interesting stories. And I really like that. I like the fact that they're telling Australian stories and it's getting physical media releases, even if it's only a physical media release by Umbrella of 500.
Right.
It's still getting out there. And the stories are getting out. And then they go on to Umbrella's streaming service here in Australia called Brolly, which people can get with a VPN. I think I like the fact that that stuff's happening.
Yeah.
But we're fighting against the worst people in the world. All the James Bond villains who don't have the charisma to be James Bond villains are running the world at the moment.
They also don't even have a face a mother could love, and they've all proven that to us. But
incredibly punchable, yeah.
It is kind of disheartening when the reality is so many of us, even doing the classic voting with your wallet of choosing what to buy, where to buy, how to buy, doesn't even swing a needle anymore. It's not one of those things where if we support one of these releases enough, it means we're going to get another one. The only time that really matters was some of these boutiques, and that's why. Again, I know this is very, we'll say, self-serving to say this as somebody that's literally starting a distribution company this year and launching our first release in just a few months. Some of these titles, like if you actually want something like that, it can very much change the trajectory of an entire genre of film for what is coming out on physical media if it does well for one company.
Yeah. And there's also the other aspect of it too. There's people who are starting to make movies after they do YouTube, things like Obsession and Backrooms.
Yep.
Those are scaring the shit out of the big boys because, they're made for $1 million and they've made $80, $100, $200 million so far. They are really, all innovation comes from the edges of things. And that's what's happening here. And when they get to physical media, people are going to buy Obsession. They're going to buy Backrooms because they don't trust big studios to keep them available to them.
I hope they do in very large numbers. And seemingly with how many people have enjoyed them this year, I think they're going to do just fine. Yeah. There's also, I think the first one that was YouTube related this year was Iron Lung, that Markiplier one. And his, I almost think is, I don't want to say more impressive or anything like that because they're kind of impossible to compare exactly one-to-one. But the fact that he did everything on his own and then still chose to not sell to a studio and then even went so far as to do the digital release on his own and he's doing physical media on his own. I mean, the fact that he had a built-in fan base helps tremendously. But this is crazy. Like he literally approached theaters, did a full rollout himself, and is able to put out a film that genuinely affected a great deal of things this year.
Yeah, Iron Lung turned up in our local multiplexes for a very long time. All of the fanboys for Markiplier just went to it. I didn't enjoy the movie myself. I thought it was a bit, but a lot of people did. And that business model is starting to get the attention of the big boys. Yeah.
As it should. We're proving time and time again that there are other ways around these things, and we're going to try to find those. We're going to try to find those ways every single time, especially the people with the drive to create. That is one of the hardest things to quash in somebody, and man, we are proven left and right that it's still out there.
Be the mice in the walls, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you ready to cover some announcements this week, sir?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. First, we get to give the full deep dive together of the brand new Toy Robot Video, which is a offshoot of Arrow Video, and they've not exactly come out and said why these need to be an offshoot, but this is essentially a sub-label of Arrow Video. They're going to be releasing stuff in the US and the UK and Canada. Most of these that we're going to be talking about this week are going to be both for the UK and North America. Only one of them is going to be US only. None of them are UK only. And what kind of surprised me is all of the ones that they had revealed a few weeks ago when the label got sort of soft launched on social media we're covering all of them tonight. I expected one or two, and they're like, no, let's just release everything in September, which means we get a lot more surprises on the way. But it looks like they're going to be doing more of the offshoot pulpy type films, with Arrow currently really focusing on the very mainstream type of stuff. Are you picking up much Arrow right now down in Australia?
I'm not, because it costs a little bit more to get them here. Yeah. And occasionally I'll pick one up if I go down to Play, which is our local store that sells through. I'm interested in Guyver because I saw the animated TV series of Guyver, and then I got the movies. I've got them on DVD, I think. Yeah. But, they're fun. I love the combination of kind of anime action and body horror as well. They're a nice series, those ones. And the animated version punches pretty hard too.
I've never seen the animated one. I'm very keen to check this out. So this is September 7th in the UK, September 8th here in North America. It's a Blu-ray release of the Guyver 2, Guyver Dark Hero. This is from 1994. This is with Sean Barker returning. This is going to have 3 brand new audio commentaries, including one with the director, Steve Wang. We got new interviews with the producer, director, Steve Wang, actors on here, including David Hayter. Behind-the-scenes footage from the original shoot, archival making-of, trailers, and photo galleries. And you'll get your first shot of the packaging if you're watching the video now. And what they're going to be doing seems to be very Radiant-style Obi strip or a slipcover. Can't quite tell if it looks like that is an Obi strip over a slipcover, and that's probably going to come off. And that seems to be the big hot thing right now with Radiance and 88 Films both using those. Looks like a decent release. Personally, I just don't understand why this couldn't have been under Arrow, and they just, if they needed to, just release more films. Like, I mean, you got a big established brand. I don't really understand it, but hey, it probably does something for them for accounting, and that's why we got it.
Yeah, is this the one with Mark Hamill, or was that the first Guyver movie?
That is the first one, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Mark Hamill when he was down in his luck making a Guyver movie, yeah.
A Guyver movie, a Toby Hooper movie, a few others. Yeah. Damon Williams disappointed that Guyver 2 is in 4K. Feel like there will eventually be a 4K version, though. No, the answer is no. There will not be a 4K. They've already stated that the elements are not good enough for a 4K. This is the best that we are going to be able to get. It just was no different from the Blu-ray. And so as disappointed as you are, there's no reason for us to pay an upcharge and have the label pay a shit ton more money for something that looks essentially identical to the HD Blu-ray. So if anything, be happy. Saved all of us some money. Cool. Next up, September 7th in the UK, September 8th in North America, we get a Blu-ray of Roaring Fire from 1991. This is one, like I said, that they had announced recently. This is by Hiroyuki Sanada, starring in this one. It's an action-packed film available for the first time ever on Blu-ray. We get a new commentary with Brian Bankston, new Japanese film critic Akihiko Ito on Sonny Chiba, the man, the actor, the legend. We got a roaring success, James Mudge offering a retrospective on Roaring Fire. And then we got pro wrestling critic and film writer Chris Lines on the life and times of Abdullah the Butcher, plus a new buffet of comedy and action. Critic Clement Rauger discusses the secrets of Roaring Fire. I've never seen Roaring Fire, but I do love me some Sonny Chiba. Have you seen this one?
No, but I do love Sonny Chiba as well. So much good Toho stuff came out with Sonny Chiba about 5 years ago, and I just love the guy. Street Fighter was my first one because it came out on VHS here in Australia, and I just ran with it from there. If I could, I'd get this one basically.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Imprint or Umbrella announced this one. In fact, I believe somebody I feel like had just fairly recently announced this one, if I'm remembering right.
Oh, cool.
Maybe I am only thinking of this one though.
Yeah, I hope so.
Just this one. Whoops.
Oh, damn.
I can see Umbrella doing it, though. All right. Next up, we've got another one from 1982. This is September 28th in the UK, September 29th in North America, and it's Ninja Wars. This is a dark supernatural action film set in feudal Japan, blending ninja lore with horror and fantasy elements, which sounds like it was made for me. We get a new commentary by Jonathan Clements, new author Matt Alt on Ninja Wars, a Daisuke Miao on the ninja in Japanese cinema, and then a VHS version in SD on the disc as well. Yeah.
Umbrella are putting this one out as well.
That's right. That's the one I was thinking of. That's it. Yep. This one looks good. And this one, if I remember right, also has Sonny Chiba maybe in a very small role, I think. I'll have to look that up. I could absolutely be speaking completely out of my ass. All right.
I will get the local version, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It'll cost you probably a third of the cost.
Yeah.
Then September 14th in the UK, September 15th in North America, they are putting out Marshmallow from 2025. This is a sort of kids versus adults summer camp horror-esque film. It's more of a thriller. This wasn't really scary in any way. Pretty well made, though. Some interesting situations that they had the kids in. This has an audio commentary with the director and some of the actors, a deleted scene filming a dream sequence, 2 short films by the director as well, one from 2012, one from 2015, some video podcast interviews, behind-the-scenes stills galleries. Have you been able to see Marshmallow yet?
No, but I did get the twist spoiled for me by somebody else's YouTube channel, which is horrible, but I will watch it at some stage, but I haven't had a chance to yet.
It's pretty decent. I hope people check this one out. This one, I believe this one premiered here in my hometown of Kansas City at Panic Fest, and this isn't really a spoiler because you see it on the cover right here. But the villains, I guess that you can say in the movie, they are dressed in this intimidating costume, and they walk around with these like taser looking things. And they had people outside of Panic Fest dressed like that with fake tasers right after the screening of the film. And I got to say, pretty effective, pretty well done. That's good festival marketing.
Yeah, pretty much ice with a glow up.
Yeah, literally. It was a good time to do that, and not the year after that. That would have been rough.
Yeah.
All right. After that, we got one that really got people excited. September 15th in the U.S. only. We are getting a 4K release and then a separate Blu-ray release of 1987's Masters of the Universe on 4K for the first time. And now the very interesting situation here, which they've not fully explained yet. They say Toy Robot Video proud to present a newly unearthed preview cut of the film featuring never before seen footage, including new and extended scenes, plus alternate takes. This also has a new interview with Robert Duncan McNeil. We've got a new interview with Anthony DeLongis. We got a new interview with the production designer, William Stout, audio commentary with the director, Behind the Legend archival featurette, and another new commentary with the production designer, William Stout. That is a decent amount. I don't know how many people are going to jump to get this with the extras being what they are, but I bet that new preview cut is going to be plenty to get them quite a few buyers.
Yeah, I got the umbrella version, which was like this big a little while ago with a ton of extras. I'm not sure if they're the same extras or not. But, there's an enormous fan base of people who were kids in the 80s who had the toys and will buy this and enjoy it.
Well, and this is the first 4K release, so a lot of people that are all about the format wars right now of UHD versus Blu-ray, they're going to buy this just to say that they win. We got a question from Damon. Any word if these are chunky boxes or slim fit? I believe these are just slip covers around a regular case. So not chunky boxes, at least yet, until they maybe do a box set, although it's Arrow, so we're probably going to be getting some sort of very similar packaging or sized releases that they do sometimes. So that makes sense. All right, so that is Toy Robot Video. First Slate, how do you feel about that overall batch of films that they shared with us?
I like it. It's ethnically diverse, so they've got stuff from a little bit of everywhere, which is nice. And Masters of the Universe, we got the local release, but it's going to sell really well. I mean, that fan base is there, and the fan base enjoyed the new movie as well, which I haven't seen, but I've heard good things about.
Yeah,
but it's going to do gangbuster business, particularly with the size queens who are into 4K only.
Oh, those size queens. All right. 2 more releases that I am quite excited about. End of July, meaning next month, we got 2 Blu-ray releases from Deaf Crocodile that are brand new and shipping. We've got The Arrival from the Darkness and St. Wenceslas from 1921 and 1930. These are 2 silent films from Jan S. Kolar, and they are sporting some beautiful Dave McKean art on both sides of the slipcover here. This is crazy that they turned out like this. Then we've got the standard art on the inside and the back of the case on here. These are from 1921, 1929. on here, we also have 6 short films ranging from 1917 all the way up to, I believe the newest one is 54. Yeah, 54. And then even though that Deaf Crocodile, like we talked about before, they are stepping back from the deluxe hard boxes that they were doing and doing a lot more slipcover only releases. This is going to be one of those slipcover releases, and it will still have a 48-page booklet with new essays by Jan Christopher Horak and the critic Walter Chow, which is on every single release from them. We get a new commentary by Peter Hames and Irina Kovarova, new visual essay called Face of Centuries, Jan S. Kolar and the Afterlives of History by Stephen Brumer, who is excellent experimental filmmaker, and then new artwork on that standard by Beth Morris. Slipcover. That one is limited to only 1,250 copies, and it is selling quite well. And if you are still keen on this one and haven't pre-ordered it yet, as somebody who helps run the warehouse, I would suggest you get it pretty soon. We can't say that about the next one, but curious your thoughts on this. Are you watching any silent films?
I'm watching a few, but they tend to be pre-code stuff that's a bit racy.
Yeah.
But I love the look of these ones. I mean, just the slipcover's beautiful. The artwork's there.
Yeah.
And I always like that with any release. When you get a slipcover and you go, I wish I had that on a poster to frame.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful looking slipcover and very kind of culturally appropriate slipcover as well.
Mr. A Fat Man is saying, hopefully the case still closes with such large books. It absolutely does. There's literally not a single problem with it. You're going to love the new release, and it'll save you spots on your shelf. You get to fill twice the releases this way without the big box. Speaking of twice the releases, Deaf Crocodile also releasing the Cat City collection. This has Cat City and Cat City 2 called Cat Catcher. These are from 1986 and 2007. These are going to be really great. We've got 3 rare Bela Tarnovsky animated shorts on this, a video interview with Georgi Raduli, who is the director of the National Film Institute and Film Archive. We get a commentary by Sam Deegan on this. These are all from the Cat City disc that they had released previously that was all out of print, so we'll let that one go. But then the new one, Cat Catcher, Cat City 2, this has a new interview with Bela Tarnovsky as well, moderated by Dennis Bartok and translated by Anna Klinitske. We got a 48-page booklet with new essays by Dan Schindel and Walter Chow. New commentary by Dorian Sisa and a new visual essay by Evan Chester. And this one, the slipcover at Deaf Crocodile at least, is fully sold out. You might still be able to find it at some retailers, but if you are keen on getting this gorgeous light blue slipcover, you might want to pick one of those up from one of the wholesale partners when you can.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this one, but I love the animation style. Like the design of the characters is great.
Yeah, if somebody out there has not seen the trailer for this, definitely recommend checking it out. This one, very interesting comment here. So Jack DVD says, Sallow 4K, Wicked Vision German 5-disc editions just went up for pre-order on their site. Wanted to say that I believe it was last week we talked about cheaper shipping from Wicked Vision. Just found out they're offering a situation, sorry Terry, this won't benefit you yet, only for US residents. They found a way somehow to do €13.99 for shipping from Germany. So order as many releases as you can. If you want, go to Wicked Vision and go to their shop, and that is literally like less than half the cost of shipping from most German releases. So it's a good time. They've got some great releases. Will and I just announced that we're on Mask of the Red Death last week, so go check it out. It would be a great way to save some money on shipping and find out that you can get it easy.
Yeah, it's Salo, one of my favorite screwball comedies.
I heard it's a pretty shitty film.
Yeah, he's left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh boy, I gotta say the restoration on that 4K looks pretty good. The old Blu-rays, I think they did a 4K scan for that like a little over a decade ago, and because of where it was done in Italy, it had that very yellowish tint to that old 4K scan, and that looks like it's all gone now. So that's pretty good by itself.
Yeah, Solo was banned in Australia for a long time. You could only get it from bookshops where they had pirate VHS copies of it. It was a big thing here, and then suddenly it's in local shops because people forgot that it was banned.
Oops. Oh, well. All right. Next up, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of Severance stuff tonight because in about an hour and 45 minutes, their summer sale goes live for everybody. So one that we're going to be able to talk about is the 4K and Blu-ray release of What Have You Done to Solange from 1972. This is on 4K for the first time. Really great art on the slipcase on this one. This is going to have a commentary with Alan Jones and Kim Newman, commentary with Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. We've got an interview with Pilar Castell, archival extras, conversation with Camille Keaton. We've got a third Blu-ray here with all kinds of extras on this. Lots of archival stuff, brand new interviews, visual essays, and then the bonus disc of the soundtrack CD. This is excellent. Have you seen What Have You Done to Solange?
No, but I'd be interested to. I saw Camille Keaton. I rewatched the I Spit on Your Grave movies just this year. And I'd be really interested in it. I've got a deep dive into Jarley because I'm doing a video about that at some stage.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
You're going to love this comment. Somebody says, Sallow were the 120 days of our current administration. Sad but true.
Yeah. Donald Trump, the early years, yeah.
Oh, God. All right. TerrorVision has provided some updates. First, updates on some of their releases, some of their manufacturing, and some other stuff for everybody to be able to live by. So the big thing is they've had all kinds of really crappy delays. The worst one, of course, being Gatorbait, which was announced and up for pre-order last May of 25, and still not shipping. So they are saying that their delays are finally wrapping up. They've got, I believe, 3 or 4 releases that are still kind of held up. Hide and Go Shriek and Student Bodies will arrive on the 6th of July and will ship right after they inspect them. Happy Hell Night will arrive around the 20th of July and ship right after they inspect that one. And then after that, Gatorbait 2 will have the director's cut on 4K and the TerrorVision assembly cut that they made on Blu-ray. Gatorbait and Gatorbait 2 Cajun Justice 4-disc set will ship August 10th. The pre-order debacle has been a major lesson for everybody at TerrorVision, and a new Graveface Films title is now live. We're going to talk about that one after this. They're also talking about a new sub-label that they're doing called Cellar Dweller. It is going to be TerrorVision shot on video, weird, ultra-obscure titles for people that are subscribers and don't want to get those ones. They don't have to, obviously. Then they've got plans for a label focused on contemporary titles that they're currently working on. Ryan and Brad apologized many times in their live video last week about everything that's happened, and they say that there are plenty of TerrorVision titles in the works, but nothing will come from the main TerrorVision line to be announced until they have tracking numbers for what is on the way and that they know that it's going to be able to be shipped to you so that nobody can get upset with them anymore. The big thing is they are continuing to work and have been working ever since all of this started and have titles that are fully ready to ship in their warehouse. We're going to talk about one of those right after this. They're also talking about doing an adult or sexy line, but apparently not as a sub-label, possibly. This was a vague thing that they're still deciding on. And the new sub-label that they're doing is not made to affect subscribers in any way. You can add them to your your subscription shipment if you want, but if you don't want them, you don't have to, of course. So that's it from TerrorVision. I'm guessing, Terry, you don't have anything from TerrorVision yet?
No, I don't, but I like the fact that they're being open and honest about problems they got. I know Umbrella and Imprint have both done that. When hassles come out, you send things out and keep people updated so people don't make things up, they don't speculate. You're giving them the real deal information. And that I always respect labels that do that.
I fully agree. I will call for that literally always to happen. The fact that so many of these labels will announce things and not even say like what the restoration was from or the source for their elements or anything, it's just frustrating. Tell us what it's from so we can compare and be smart consumers about what we want to purchase.
We're all grown-ups.
Well, most of us.
Mostly, yeah.
So that new TerrorVision title, that's not from their TerrorVision line. This is from their Graveface line. This is the film Be a Wicked Woman, also known as An Experience to Die For. This is from 1990. This includes a limited edition slipcover designed by Chloe over at TerrorVision, and then that strip across the bottom. Those are limited to 1,000 different copies. This movie It's kind of amazing. Have you ever seen Be a Wicked Woman?
No, I haven't, but the title alone has me intrigued.
Yeah, so this film, their synopsis here says, two scorned women agree to kill each other's husbands who are guilty of neglect and infidelity. Once things are in motion, events start to spiral out of control. This movie was made in 1989. It was meant to be released in 1990. This film back then was called An Experience to Die For, and it was directed by the big director, Kim Ki-young, which you'll recognize from all kinds of major films across the history, like The Housemaid, Women Chasing the Butterfly of Death, and Woman of Fire. This was shelved until 1995 when it was put in front of the censorship board again, and it was finally retitled To Be a Wicked Woman. The film itself didn't premiere until 1998, following Kim Ki-young's death from a house fire in that same year. For the most part, this didn't gain a whole lot of attraction. It slowly disappeared over the years and never really made it out of its home country. But I can attest that this is an incredible film. I think you will love it. It is scanned and restored from the original 35mm OCN. It is a region-free Blu-ray. It's got a booklet with writing from Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. There is a commentary on here from Ariel Shudson, visual essay from Heather Drain, visual essay from Amber T, visual essay from Erica Schultz, all three very wicked women in their own regards, and I will attest from working on all three of them, their visual essays are incredible. This is by far one of my most recommended pickups for this week. If you get a chance, this is one that I heartily recommend that people look at. It is well shot. I mean, Kim Ki-young was literally a master of cinema. The acting in this is incredible. Some of the shots in this are beautiful. The story is fun. The extras on this are just incredible. But the big thing, like I said at the beginning, shipping now. So you don't have to wait for TerraVision to wait for manufacturing or anything. It is in their warehouse, ready to go. You order it, it should be shipping within the next week. Check it out if you're keen, because, man, I cannot wait for people to start discovering this movie because it is astonishing.
Cool. Sounds like a gender flip Strangers on a Train with follow-through.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah. Let's see. I think sublabels would be good for TerraVision. Their identity is kind of up in the air. That is absolutely true. Brian says, I like the idea of TerraVision, but I've mostly lost patience. I can understand. Don't know how anyone could be mad at Ryan and Brad anyways. They are way more bummed than the rest of us. They are pretty bummed. They're gonna call their sexy movie line "sex toy robot." That's a very good joke, Gary. That was very good.
Yeah, but Google searching it would be a horror.
It would be, but I mean, you'd probably get a lot of Asian films still, to be fair. All right, next up, August 24th, over in the UK from Hammer, we are getting a Blu-ray release of Whoever Slew Auntie Roo from 1972. I believe this one has been out of print from Kino Lorber in the States here. This is one I don't know if I've seen this one. I keep thinking I do, or I have. And I swear there's probably 3 or 4 movies from the 70s that are titled similarly to this that I always get mixed up in my mind. This one's supposed to be good, though. We got new artwork by Lydia Maltby. We've got a limited edition O-card package around it. We got a new commentary with Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. I feel like I just said that for the last film because I did. New visual essay by Heather Wixon. We've got a Region B lock disc here. Have you been checking anything out from these new Hammer titles yet?
Not yet. They still are crazily expensive here. I'm going to wait till we get a price drop on Amazon or something easy to access where I get free shipping and hit some of these Hammer titles. Already know them. I'm not too keen on the title Hagsploitation. Yeah. Because it is a bit kind of ageist in a way.
A little bit.
But I understand that it's a convenient genre label for people. But, yeah, I mean, Shelley Winter's going crazy. You've got to love that. And the supporting cast, Lionel Jeffries is in there and people like that.
Yeah,
I kind of like it when they stick Mark Lester, Lionel Jeffries, Ralph Richardson. They're all fun even when they're just cashing a check.
This is true, which is why people love Hammer. I mean, Hammer's done a lot of great stuff over the years.
Yeah.
All right, next up, let's talk about some imprint announcements. July 29th, this continues their massive July that they've got coming. This is Shaw Shock, Shaw Brothers Horror, volume number 5. They're basically printing these every single month, it feels like, at this point. So this has Black Magic from 75, Black Magic 2 from 76, and The Mighty Peking Man from 77. Now, these are films that have been released by other boutiques already, so these are not really going out on completely unfettered lines lines or anything, but these are first-time releases in Australia, and they do have new extras. We get a new interview with James Mudge on Black Magic. On Black Magic 2, we get an interview with James Mudge as well. And then on The Mighty Peking Man, new commentary by Ian Jane. Have you seen any of these 3 films before?
I think they were in the Shore Scope box set that I had.
Yeah.
And I went through that. Yeah. So I've seen Mighty Peking Man. I've seen Black Magic, but I haven't seen Black Magic 2. But it's got all the usual kind of Hong Kong horror magic stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you have the sound turned off and the subtitles off, they're going to be bangers to just watch the visuals.
Yeah.
So you might as well go for it. Yeah. And those Shore Shock ones have really delivered odd things that I enjoyed in the past.
Some great visuals, great original posters on these films, too.
Oh, yeah. You've got to love this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we got an update on the film The Black Belly of the Tarantula. This is coming now on July 21st on a 4K and Blu-ray dual format from Celluloid Dreams here in the US. And so the big thing here is they decided to add the widescreen version of the film to the limited packaging that they've got for this one. They've been working on it for weeks. They were trying to make it so that they could do seamless branching and see what they could pull off. But because the picture was so different, it kept needing to be compressed in a way that was leading to the video not being the highest quality that they wanted. And so because of that, there was no way to put both of those on the same disc. And that meant they're adding a disc to their release. So now this is going to be a larger disc than it originally was announced as, and they are not increasing the price in any way. But because they are adding another disc, it is going to slightly delay it. They are going to do their best, and they think it's going to be shipping near the end of July there, like indicated at the beginning. Speaking of giallo films that you're looking at here soon, have you ever seen Black Belly of the Tarantula?
I'm not sure whether I've seen it or not, but one thing I did find while I was doing my research, there's a do-it-yourself giallo title generator online if you search for that. And I just got one called My Heart is an Assassin with a Woman's Hands. So you can generate your own giallo titles as well, which is great fun. I spent like a half an hour doing it the other day, but I haven't seen this one yet, but it looks like a great release.
I used to run trivia at a bar, and there was one time I was trying to write some of my trivia rounds for an event coming up, and I made a round that was giallo film or Hardy Boys novel, and the titles were so similar, I fooled so many people with those, and it was a blast.
Yeah, I just generated another one. Black Cat with Iron Fingers Stained in Red.
Iron Fingers Stained in Red. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Barnes & Noble having all kinds of sales here in the U.S. this week, including late tonight while we are all shopping at the Severance sale. They are launching their Criterion sale tonight. But leading up to that, they've announced a few other sales. Radiance titles are currently 50% off. We've got 88 films that is 50% off. And then Magnolia Pictures, they are also 50% off. Lots and lots of these titles showing up for half off right now. And these are in store and online, but obviously you're going to find a much better selection online. Unless you're in one of the big, metro market areas, a lot of people's Barnes & Nobles are hardly carrying anything. And when they do, it's mostly Criterion. But yeah, check it out if you're keen on it. There's also just a shout out. There's a lot of really great deals on Barnes & Noble gift cards right now. So Costco's been doing some sales. There was another one of those like gift card sites that was doing a sale today. I think it was buy $50 and buy a $50 card and get a $20 card back, or buy a $50 and get a $10 card, something like that. Super worth it though. If you're going to be buying a release or two anyways, may as well try to get a little bit of extra on top of that for free.
Yeah, what can I say? Tyranny of distance.
The Aardvark with Hands of Stone, huh? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep doing that, I promise.
I love it, though. All right. Next, we got all kinds of details over probably the announcement that shocked the huge amount of people in this industry last week. October 20th, here in the U.S., we are getting a 4K and Blu-ray dual format box set collection called The Complete Kubrick from Criterion. Now, yes, this is The Complete Kubrick. All of the films in this box set are on 4K, including Fear and Desire. The other two shorts that are classically associated with that one, those are only in SDR. Everything else on this is in Dolby Vision and HDR, obviously. This is a wild one. We've got 13 features and 3 shorts with their original soundtracks alongside the 5.1 mixes, all restored and remastered. Over 25 hours of interviews, documentaries, behind-the-scenes materials. The international version of The Shining, finally on home video in the U.S. We've got a new 4K restoration of Vivian Kubrick's behind-the-scenes doc Making of The Shining. New commentaries featuring the filmmaker Lee Unkrich, who is the editor of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and author Michael Benson, who wrote Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick, author C. Clarke, and The Making of a Masterpiece. We've got rare films from graphic films and computer animation pioneer John Whitney that inspired the special effects in 2001 A Space Odyssey. Unseen Lolita screen test with some of the actors from it. Rare Full Metal Jacket behind-the-scenes footage, a new conversation with the novelist Jonathan Lethem and film historian Kevin Winter on Kubrick and authorship, an essay by Nathaniel Rich, and much, much more. Now, we also did get soft confirmation for all of you Pixel Peepers that all of the UHDs for this one, except for one of them, I believe, are authored by Fidelity in Motion. So this is going to be a, fairly decent step up from some of these studio discs. Lolita on 4K for the first time. Kubrick, fairly okay director. How do you feel about Kubrick there, Terry?
There's only 2 Kubricks I don't like. I don't like 2001. You go to the moon, you go to Jupiter, you turn into a space baby. And Eyes Wide Shut, because I don't think the leads in Eyes Wide Shut have any charisma together at all.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, yeah. I can just see everybody going into the Criterion closet on their videos now and just grabbing the Kubrick box set.
They got it.
Yeah. Massive project, that one.
Yeah, this is huge. Great design, I will say, on all of the layout and everything from Sister Hyde, who's pretty much always amazing on these things. This looks incredible. Massive amount of press releases and people giving this thing attention. I will say the price, I can understand everybody feeling a little sticker shocked by. In the U.S., it is $600 MSRP, which means during a Barnes & Noble sale or a site flash sale, at half off, it will be $300, which to me, 13 films on 4K, 30 discs at $300 doesn't seem crazy, but it is still very, very expensive, undoubtedly. It is definitely going to be for the most privileged to be able to buy this. On top of all of that, there are places right now already selling it for $400. You should be able to get this in a decent set and hopefully shipped properly from a third-party retailer, or Barnes & Noble or Criterion Direct or something. Just keep in mind, $300, that gets you 60% of the way to a brand new $50 gift card from Criterion already if you're a Points Rewards member ordering from their site. So this is a pretty good way to stock up on that front.
And then you can get rid of all of your favorite Kubrick. I really like The Killing. I think that's great. But yeah, everybody's going to be selling off all their other Kubricks.
Yeah.
So the second-hand market for decent copies of Stanley Kubrick's work is going to be gangbusters. So if you can't afford this one, keep your eyes open on the second-hand market, and people are going to be dumping a lot of good stuff there.
For very cheap, too. Because it's going to be flooded. Jack in the comments says, I emailed Criterion and they have confirmed that The Shining will have the original Saul Bass Warner Brothers opening logo restored, along with the original end credit in blue, which is very interesting. Good to know. RFV wants to know, will this sell out immediately and become out of print? The very easy answer is hell no. There's no way that they put this much work into it to sell a very small amount of copies in less than a month and then it go immediately out of print. With the studios sort of coming together to work on this, I understand why that would be a worry, but I guarantee that the Kubrick estate was a big hand to play in this, and this will likely be available for a while. Just an astonishing achievement for them to bring everybody together and get this released. That being said, I do feel like, we should have done this probably 3 years ago before all these other 4Ks by them were released. But here we are, and it'll be a great release, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Just to audit the amount of work that goes into something like that, because I know the amount of work that goes into much smaller projects than this, but this one is probably the biggest bundle of them all.
I can't think of a larger 4K release yet. I think this is the largest in a single box set of number of titles. I know that the Frank Capra set from Sony, it had a huge number of films, but I think there was only like 7 that was actually in 4K in that box set. But yeah, this is tremendous to get everything together all in one set. Again, a ton of discs. I mean, the fact that we have 30 discs in this release is kind of insane.
Yeah,
all
it's just,
right.
And the shelf space alone is going to daunt some people.
Yeah, I'm quite curious on that. Criterion doesn't have the best of track record with how they package these large collections. They look nice, but they're definitely not shelf consumer in mind type of friendly choices usually.
Yeah, just get rid of the food, put it in the pantry.
Right. Next up, we have another Severin title. I can't believe that we're seeing all this just come out in 4K UHD, but the next one is a 4K and Blu-ray dual format release of Anthropophagus from 1980. This is the George Eastman film. This is going to have a 3-disc collection with the original and extended Italian versions, plus the Grim Reaper US theatrical cut, and all new special features on this one. We've got interview with Joe D'Amato, interview with George Eastman, the man who killed the Anthropophagus, interview with the actor Saverio Vallone, all kinds of other interviews. And then the 3rd disc here is going to be the Grim Reaper US theatrical cut. No extras on that 3rd disc, but that is wild. Yeah, this is pretty impressive. And then to add on to it, they're also doing Absurd from 1981, Whoa. The one that everybody always attaches with the Anthropophagus. This is another George Eastman film. It's a 2-disc collection with the English and Italian versions and all new bonus features, including all kinds of new interviews. Beyond that, it looks to be a fairly solid upgrade. And if you want to make it extra special, you can buy it from their site with this Fear the Reapers dual film slipcase to go around both of the films. Have you seen Anthropophagus or Absurd?
I think I've seen Absurd a long time ago. It may have been a sneaky copy of it, but not lately, and I can't remember too much about it. And I'm now distracted by Luna.
Everybody loves an animal on here, especially cats, so that's always nice to see. Let's see. Yep, look at that. You got a shout out for a cat immediately. RFV says, can you imagine this title on a theater marquee? I would love to see the word Anthropophagus and see how many people go, oh, can I see that? Would love to. Let's see. George Eastman picked a great time to pass away with so many movies of his being released. Well, they were working on a lot of them all at the same time. And I think we have a lot of Eugenio Ercolani over in Italy to thank for that one. He has been working his ass off this last year.
Yeah, the autographed versions are very rare.
Yes, absolutely. And wait till you get the new ones next year. Obviously kidding. Next one, we are getting from Severin tonight a 4K. Well, I guess it'll be on Sunday, technically, not tonight. 4K upgrade to the film Dark Waters from 1994. This is technically the 3rd time that they have released this film. They released this twice on Blu-ray, once on its own, once in their All the Haunts Be Ours box set. And then Dark Waters now coming on 4K UHD. This one is going to be interesting because it's got very wide set of special features on here. Scanned in 4K from the OCN, complete with the original theatrical version, and over 6 hours of new and archival extras, plus a bonus documentary. So on the Blu-ray disc, the second one, we got an introduction by the director. We've got folk horror Neapolitan wonders and Bano's Dark Waters essay. We got a personal journey in search of Lovecraft among Italy's bleeding saints essay, a tale of 2 cuts. We've got the origins of Dark Waters, a conversation with the co-writer. And then the 3rd disc is going to be a Blu-ray of the director's cut and a bunch of other special features, including a bunch of short films. We've got a silent blooper reel with commentary by the director. We've got all kinds of optional commentaries and such on this disc. And then Disc 4, The World of Lovecraft, a bonus documentary, including a making of that documentary. Have you seen Dark Waters?
No, but I like the idea of a movie like this having a blooper reel. I think that's a good idea. I would watch that first.
Yeah, the fact that it's a silent blooper reel, I feel like it's got to be pretty good if they're able to make it that entertaining. All right, so that is Dark Waters. Lots more to talk about Severin tonight, like I said, including on Upgrade Sunday. They're also putting out the same director who did Dark Waters, Astrid Saints from 2024. This is the worldwide home video premiere of this film. 30 years after the debut Dark Waters, the director Mariano Beno returns with his masterful and visionary second feature, now presented on disc for the first time ever. The lead delivers an extraordinary performance as Astrid, an anguished mother who must navigate a netherworld of obsession, torment, and summoned saints that will bring either true absolution or eternal damnation. This will have an introduction by the director and the lead. We get an audio commentary by Tim Lucas on this film. We get a making of this. We get a Kickstarter promo, Shark Tank audition for Astrid Saints, pre-production mood videos, trailer, and then a short film produced and directed by the director as well. I'm kind of keen to see this one. This one sounds fun.
I love the cover. I just think that works. That's so evocative.
Yeah, Severin usually makes some really good choices with covers. Who are some of your favorite labels for cover art overall?
I kind of like the grungy street arts that Umbrella do on some of their box sets, where they get basically people who started out spray painting walls to do their covers. Yeah. They did a really good one for Repo Man, for instance, and a few other things. And there's a really good one for the Tox box or the Toxic Avenger movies. There's just, if in Australia, I think the cover art kings are Umbrella.
Yeah, they're pretty great. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with. They do really great stuff.
And they're getting small artists, new artists,
to
do this stuff, which I appreciate.
Well, and on top of that, they're doing so many pieces with their art that they're able to expand they've got 39 different brand new pieces of art for some of these releases. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm all excited by Tony's comment and very worried about how many announcements I have to post. He says Imprint just announced their August bundle and Kubrick is coming to Imprint. Oh, God.
Okay, I'm going to check my emails.
Is that about to be a quite expensive release or what?
I'm sure it will be. But they do surprise at times. They don't leak at all. They just suddenly pop out with what they've got.
Well, and Imprint for a while, they were like kind of hinting that they had announcements coming. And then now they're just like, oh, by the way, here's 11 titles all coming out in 2 months. Check them out if you want. And they'll be up for pre-order in 2.5 weeks. Okay, so they've announced. We'll talk about all these next week. The Cinema of Powell and Pressburger Collection number 2, directed by Stanley Kubrick, 4K and Blu-ray hardbox and hardcover booklets. So that will have Fear and Desire, Killer's Kiss, The Killing, and Paths of Glory. And does it say? Oh, it does not say Volume 1 or anything. Well, that's curious. They've got a directed by Billy Wilder box set with The Lost Weekend, Stalag 17, and Some Like It Hot. And then they've got The Misfits from 1961 on 4K. Ooh.
Yeah, that I have to check out this bundle.
That's a lot.
Pressburger. Well, now Hoffman's in there.
Yeah, now I'm wondering if Umbrella's going to be able to get 2 more collections out of the Kubrick thing. That would be quite a coup. All right.
Yeah.
Next up. A lot of Severin talking about right now. The next one, this is coming up again as part of their 4K Upgrade Sunday, Beyond the Darkness from 1979. This is a wild movie. If anyone out there has never seen Beyond the Darkness, this is a quintessential Severin title. This is a must. I really hope that people see this and get blown away is probably underselling it. Don't expect like an amazing masterpiece, but it's a wild, sleazy Severin adventure, and it's quite nice. So they've got a 4K disc with the film and a commentary by Kat Ellinger and Madeline Le Dispenser. Commentary with Aaron Abushan, the co-host of Discover the Horror. On their disc 2, the Blu-ray, they've got the film and a bunch of special features, including those 2 commentaries. A bunch of interviews on here. Let's see. Locations from the film. We've got Aquarius Releasing's Terry Levine talking the film. Then that is about it, other than a couple interviews. Have you been able to see Beyond the Darkness ever?
No, but just that cover has got me very, very intrigued.
It's a good cover. The slipcover on this one is interesting, and I'm kind of curious what they put on the back of this one. But when you've got a slipcover that says they ripped his guts out, pails of entrails, they tore her limb from limb, and acid bath revenge, you are going all in on this film, and I love it.
Absolutely. That I like that. It's very different from the other one, but I like that as well.
Yeah, both quite good. Let's see. Silent Mandible. Why has that lady got jam on her neck? That's a really funny comment. All right. Next up, not Severin this time. September 22nd, we got a 4K and Blu-ray dual format release from Neon and Decal of this year's I Love Boosters from Boots Riley, the guy that really went out there and sold the absolute shit out of his movie 24/7. This guy literally last night played about an hour from here at a university theater in Lawrence, Kansas. I really wanted to go, was not able to make it. A friend of the channel, Robert Hubbard, was there. Seems like it was a great turnout. Everybody seemed to love it. You got HDR on the film. You got an audio commentary by Boots on here, some never before seen cast interviews, and a making of documentary program for the film, plus a blooper reel. Now, I loved Sorry to Bother You. Have you seen any of Boots Riley's films yet?
It hasn't really been available here in Australia very much, unfortunately.
I do believe on Twitter he said this will be making its way to Australia around September or October.
Oh, cool. Check it out then.
Yeah, and Sorry to Bother You has been out of print for quite some time, so hopefully somebody can release that and get it back in print, because that movie is brilliant. Truly love that movie.
Cool.
August 24th, we are getting a 4K and Blu-ray release from Studio Canal over in the UK of Django Shoots First from 1966. This is the first 4K release of this film. Kino Lorber is releasing this on Blu-ray in the US on August 18th, not a 4K. If you buy the Studio Canal release, you're going to get a 12-page booklet with a new essay by Peter Raleigh. We've got a new essay called Dust and Gunfire by Glenn Saxon, speaking on the film. New audio commentary by Alex Cox, who is pretty great when he's dissecting some films. We've got an interview with Erica Blanc and an interview with Evelyn Stewart. Spaghetti Westerns. You into spaghetti Westerns much?
Yeah, I've got the original Django. I saw that, I think it might have been like early 80s on VHS, and, the bit with the coffin and all that kind of stuff, dragging it through the... Yeah. I fell in love with spaghetti westerns then. I also saw things like Duck You Sucker and a few of those Morricone music things. Yeah, they're great fun. And I'm not that keen on the Clint Eastwood trilogy. I don't think, they're well made, but I never liked Clint Eastwood as an actor. But, the rest of the stuff just hits. Anything with Franco Nero killing people in it, I will go for.
I knew you were a friend. That's good to know. Yeah, Eastwood is not my cup of tea. The Django films I always laugh at because they make the first one and then they name everybody Django for the next 8 years or whatever and put out as many films as they can. But that's Italian exploitation for you. I like the original Django quite a bit. I've not really enjoyed any of the other Django films that I've seen, but I like the art on this. I'd see it at least once.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and that when I saw Django Unchained and Franco Nero turned up, I was the only person in the group of people I saw it with who knew why he was wearing gloves.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Franco. All right, July 28th, we're getting a Blu-ray and DVD release in the U.S. from Vertical of Desert Warrior from last year. This is the Anthony Mackie film. This says, defying a ruthless emperor, a princess flees into the Arabian desert, hunted by mercenaries. Forged into a warrior and aided by a legendary bandit, she unites warring tribes for a last stand that will change history. Now, I had never, ever heard of this film until this announcement came through. And the only thing I've heard about it since then is the people that have seen it say that it's truly terrible. Had you heard of this even?
No, but I hope he has a shield.
Yeah.
Or a rap battle with Eminem, one of the two.
All right, that's Desert Warrior. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we're talking about this in the context of a 25th anniversary. August 25th, 4K Steelbook and standard release coming in the U.S. of The Fast and the Furious from 2001. This is wild to me that we are getting a 25th anniversary release of this. Now, it's not just a re-release of the old 4K of the film. This is supposedly a brand new 4K remaster. Beyond that, this has a new 25-year legacy with Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster, and the producer. That's all that's new. Everything else is all archival. But Terry, you look like somebody who loves the Fast and the Furious franchise.
It's all about family, mate.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I binge watched them, and I've got them because I picked them all up secondhand from charity stores. But yeah, they're meatball movies. They're crazy. They don't pretend to be anything but that, and they do have a big fan base. I liked it when they went to space. I liked it when he drove off a dam that was exploding, and all that kind of gear. You just got to run with the nuttiness of these movies. They're either your thing or they're not, basically. But I'm not going to criticize them because they do what they're supposed to do, which is entertain people who like driving too fast.
Reminder that Terry just said that he liked the one where they go to space and drive off a dam. And this franchise started with them doing a heist to steal DVD players.
Yay. Gotta love that. I just had a delivery.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay,
that just came straight out of the box.
Worthy to hide the announcements. That is massive.
Yeah. It's a fat boy.
Jeez. So this is the Monsters and Curiosities Universal box set from Umbrella. They had some problems with that one, with the with Universal kind of screwing with them based on the visual essays they were going to have, so it got delayed. And now it's finally shipping to everybody, and it looks incredible.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick preview, but I won't do much with it. They're all in this kind of a thing, which they couldn't help because there were just so many of them that it wasn't another practical way of doing them.
Yeah.
But we get that. We've got the book. We've got the art cards, all the usual thing. I'm going to be doing a full video on this one probably this afternoon for release tomorrow. But I've been waiting for this one for a very long time.
Matt says, so many monsters, so many curiosities. Yeah, there's plenty.
Yeah. And there's some good obscurities in there, like Curse of the Undead, where Australian actor Michael Pape plays a vampire gunslinger. Things like that are in there. It's just crazy good stuff.
Yeah. That is still available. Check that out if you're into that. And also, as Terry said, he's going to be doing a video, so check out his channel, link below. Terry's also got a Patreon, also linked in the description below. Go support him.
Yeah, I'll dance for pennies.
Ooh, pennies. Those are rare nowadays. Hey, Fast and Furious over in the UK on September 7th is getting one of these super fancy deluxe editions that we can't get pretty much anywhere in the US. This one's going to have a rigid gloss slipcase, a steelbook inside as well, and then a full movie script, double-sided poster, character cards, a UK exclusive 40-page production notes book. And this is just, again, if you really love family, this is the way to celebrate.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I mean, you can knock them if you want to, and fair enough if you do. But for me, they're just meathead movies to enjoy, like watching a Statham film.
Yeah, and I will say I don't love. Well, I don't know if I love any of them. I shouldn't say that. I truly liked the first one, and then 2 through 4-ish kind of fell off the tracks for me a little bit, and then 5 on is just like, listen, we're making a silly movie, and we know that, and we're going to lean fully into it, and it's pretty great.
And they bring back people from the dead more times than a vampire movie.
And that's, to be fair, it's basically a soap opera.
Yeah.
It's a soap opera with muscle cars.
About family.
Always the family. All right. Let's carry on to 88 Films, who announced quite a few things that are pretty exciting. September 28th on 4K and Blu-ray dual format over in the UK, they are putting out Amazonia, the Catherine Miles story, which is also known as White Slave from 1985. The tagline for this was always based on a true story, possibly. This one is on the day of her 18th birthday, young Englishwoman Catherine Miles, played by Elvira Adre, and her Brazilian-based parents travel down the mighty Amazon River, but their boat is attacked, her parents murdered, and Catherine is carried off by Indians deep into the savage jungle and a world where few white people have ever seen. This is the story of what she found, not just the primitive violence she abhorred, but also the untamed passion. This is restored in 4K. It is, I love the quote here, "The Green Inferno has never looked so lush or so dangerous." We got a slipcover on this one with new artwork by Chris Barnes. We've got an O-ring slipcover there. We've got a 4K remaster from the OCN in UHD. You got HDR10 on this one, not Dolby Vision. You've got a Blu-ray that's also in the package. Commentary by Eugenio Ercolani and Nani Cobretti. Interview with the composer, Franco Campanino. We got an interview with the camera operator, Federico Diazzapo. Interview with Eugenio Ercolani. Visual essays by Rachel Nisbet, Mike Foster, and the Nasty Pasty. We've got a booklet by Francesco Massachesi. Are you into these cannibal type exploitation jungle films from Italy from back then?
Yeah, I like the early ones, like Man from Deep River and all that kind of stuff. I'll go with those. Didn't like the one Eli Roth did, Green something or other. But these ones are great. They kind of blend in my mind with Italian zombie movies of the same era, which are always set in a similar location. But yeah, I've seen as many skulls with maggots in them as I care to see at the moment.
People impaled on roasting sticks.
All of that kind of gear.
Yeah, this one's exciting. I wish I was able to work on this one, but I get it. Hopefully somebody else releases that one eventually. Okay, so 88 Films over in the UK on September 14th. They're releasing the next title in their Italian collection. It's a 4K of Delirium. Vinegar Syndrome had released this in the US as well. This is the Photo of Gioia film from 1987. New slipcover on this one by Alon Sheedy, which was not available at the time that this went to the announcement. We've got a 4K remaster from the original negative as well. Then on the extras, we got an audio commentary by Eugenio and Nani Cobretti again. Interview with Lamberto Bava. Interview with George Eastman, yet another George Eastman. Interview with the actor David Brandon. Interview with the production designer. Interview with the first AD, the costume designer, the cinematographer. That's a lot, plus a booklet in the first printing. Delirium, a wild movie, especially for a couple scenes. But other than that, not my favorite. Have you seen Delirium?
No, but I've seen that cleavage on the cover.
That you could see that from space when you're with Fast and the Furious guys.
Absolutely, yeah. I want to see it. I'll be honest with you. I want to see it just based on that cover. But I'm going to have to deep dive into Giallo for this video I want to do. So I may well check it out.
It is certainly worth watching. I will say that. It's just not my favorite. All right. Next from 88 Films, they had released these on Blu-ray before, but they're putting out an Armor of God collection over in the UK, September 14th. Check it out. It's got the two films from 1986 and 1991. And yeah, looks like a solid release if you don't have the films.
More Jackie Chan stuff. It seems like every month there are like 55 Jackie Chan releases. There's just so much of that stuff.
Well, and not only that, different territories, so they're getting released a whole bunch of different times.
Yeah.
So, Jackie Chan, did you grow up watching Jackie Chan? Is that one you're very familiar with?
I actually saw Bruce Lee first. I saw Bruce Lee movies before he died. That's how old I am.
Wow.
And I used to go down to little Chinese cinema in Sydney in Liverpool Street. And they'd have really bad subtitles that were white, and they would show you white on a white background some of the time. And that's where I saw the Big Boss and things like that. So I'm a Bruce Lee guy more than a Jackie Chan guy.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, Arrow had us covered on both. So that's good. Next up, are you a Chuck Norris person?
No, I like actors.
See, I knew I liked you. September 28th in the UK, we're getting a Blu-ray of Chuck Norris in The Octagon from 1980. And I mean, this one kind of got me with the synopsis, but then I remember that Chuck Norris was in it, just not a Norris guy.
Yeah.
This says, ninjas were supposed to have died out 300 years ago. So who are those guys trying to kill Scott James? They tried to really make that awesome, but Anyways, it says someone's training ninjas to use as terrorist mercenaries in ex-martial arts champ Scott, played by none other than Chuck Norris, thinks he knows who it is, but can he find them and stop them? Their evil plan comes to fruition.
Yeah, the only good Chuck Norris movie is Way of the Dragon, where he gets his ass kicked by Bruce Lee.
Well, a good argument, though, for this one. Lee Van Cleef also in it.
Lee Van Cleef. Yeah, absolutely. Lee Van Cleef, definitely. But no Chuck Norris for me.
All right. Yeah, no Chuck Norris on my side either, that's for sure. But I will happily watch this PTA film. September 28th, the UK is getting a Blu-ray release of Hard 8 from 1996. This was released previously by Imprint. That, I believe, is fully out of print at the moment. So it's already rised up in cost quite a bit. But now it'll be back in print over in the UK. This will be Region B locked. Now, previously on the show, we had talked about Kino Lorber had announced that Hard 8 would be coming to 4K UHD. And for those still keeping track, just for the record, Kino has since canceled that release. So who knows if we're going to get a Blu-ray release in the States ever of this film. If you are really keen to get this, you might want to pick up the Films one or seek out the Imprint one. That cost might go down a little bit now that there's another competing release. But PTA, are you into PTA much?
Yeah, I've got this. I've got the Imprint version of this, so I'll have to check out how much it's worth for the insurance. But I do like PTA stuff. I love John C. Reilly as an actor, even when he's not doing comedy. I think he's really got the reason. He actually did the Criterion Closet a week ago.
Yeah.
And his selections were on point, really, and he spoke about them eloquently. I mean, the way he sounds makes him sound like a moron, but the guy knows his stuff.
He is an actor's actor. He is quite great at pretty much everything that he touches, and he's been doing this for a long time now.
Same with Philip Baker Hall. I mean, the whole reason that the movie was made was because of Philip Baker Hall. The role was written for him.
Yep, and supposedly this was one that if I remember right, not supposedly, I believe this is his only main starring role, but still didn't get him anything massive after this, even though he gave in a hell of a performance.
Yeah,
I mean, he's always done decent roles, just always supporting.
Yeah, one of those character actors that other actors talk about, but they just don't get the traction that lesser talents do.
Yeah, so true. All right. Then, September 14th over the UK, September 15th in the US, 88 Films announced they're putting out a Blu-ray of Sex and the Emperor. That title and this cover art really tell a whole story right there. This one says, the title tells you all you need to know. Set at the highest levels of Imperial China, Sex and the Emperor is full of palace intrigue and lots of sex and a bit of torture. I've not seen this one, but everybody that wanted to say something about it was basically, hey, just so you know, there is nothing actually attractive about this film.
And the Emperor looks like a twink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no real arguing that. This is a Cat 3 film. It's supposed to be pretty crazy. Some decent torture, supposedly. We got a limited edition removable slipcover on here, or they say a U card, which is probably to hide the nudity behind this so that they can actually show everything on the front cover. We've got a audio commentary by David West. We got an interview with James Mudge, trailers and galleries, and a limited booklet by Zoe Ross Smith, which is in the first pressing. And I mean, as a Cat 3 film, I feel like I got to see it, but I'm quite worried that this is going to be probably quite disappointing.
There are a number of Cat 3 films where you go, oh, good, I got to like this. And then suddenly you go, meh.
Oh, and some of those Cat 3s, they're Cat 3 for a scene or two. And then everything else is like, oh, that was okay.
Yeah, and the weird thing about some Cat 3 films is the actress you want to get naked isn't the actress who gets naked.
That is almost always the case. Well said.
Yeah.
All right, September 8th on Blu-ray in the U.S. only. This is not coming to the U.K., U.S. only. Blu-ray of The Haunted Cop Shop from 1987. And it says, before he became the darling of the art house, Wong Kar-wai, Wong Kar-wai, co-wrote this body horror comedy. It is set in a police precinct that was previously a hangout for Japanese soldiers during the war. The spirits of those who died there are restless and looking for living victims. It's up to the slacker cops to silence the unquiet dead once more. This has a 2K restoration from the OCN. We've got an audio commentary with Frank Jang. We've got James Mudge speaking on the film, alternate and extended shots, image gallery, and some more. This one sounds fun. I love the art on this.
Yeah, you've got like a glam rock vampire on the front of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely looks like he's going to bust out in song in one of these scenes.
Yeah, Paul says it sounds like a Crawford production because they did a TV series called Cop Shop.
Nice. Yeah, this is the Halloween episode of Cop Shop.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we get a whole bunch of stuff from Discotheque. Before I go deep into this, are you an anime person in any way?
I will watch anime. I grew up watching Astro Boy and Marine Boy and Prince Planet and all of those early anime. So, yeah, I'm locked into anime.
All right. Well, I will have to get some opinions on these because some of these I've not heard of, and some of these are straight live action. Let's go into it. All of these are coming out on Blu-ray on August 25th in the U.S. from Discotheque. The first one, Journey to Japan, The Kyoto Connection. This is from 1973. You might recognize Christina Lindbergh on the cover of this one, starring in this carnal crime odyssey from the director Sadao Nakajima. I believe, if I'm remembering right, I think this was released in one of the Club Super 8 titles that they released over in Sweden. I may be wrong, but I believe that's the case.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Christina Lindbergh movies back in the day and appreciated them in a very unseemly way. But, yeah, I'd be interested in this one.
It's Christina Lindbergh, so I get it.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
On same day, we are getting Hana Yori Dengo, complete TV series and movie collection. This covers 1996 to 1997. It'll have the English dub and a Japanese language track, English subs, region A locked. I know nothing about this one, but it does have all 51 episodes of the TV anime and the film. Have you seen this one?
No, but from what I'm reading the synopsis, it doesn't look like it's got any supernatural or science fiction aspects to it. So it's a pass from me. I want to have a couple of demons. If you're doing a school drama anime, you got to throw a demon in. You got to throw a cyborg robot from the future in, something to give it a bit of riz.
Something bonkers, yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got I'm not going to know how to pronounce this. Zega Pain, the complete TV series and movies collection. This covers all the way from 2006 to 2024. Again, this looks like it might be a little more supernatural. Any thoughts on this one?
I think I had a prescription to Zega Pain once. But yeah, I'll give it a go. Absolutely. Just take a look at it. It's got everything you need in an anime. There's going to be people screaming as they jump at things. All the usual good stuff you love with it.
Well, and when they jump, it takes 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, and something else is jumping in the opposite direction. Yeah.
Next, one that I know that people have been waiting on for a long time. Kamen Rider Skyrider, a.k.a. New Kamen Rider. It's coming out on the same day. This is all the way back from 1979 to 1980. You into any of the tokusatsu stuff?
Yeah, I'm subscribed to Toei's YouTube channel. And they chuck in a whole bunch of, going back as far as Showa era, tokusatsu series, including Kamen Rider stuff. They just flood it with all of their old stuff. And some of it's got English subtitles, some of it doesn't. So I've been dipping into that and just having fun cruising through, oh, yeah, that's how Tokyo looked in 1987. All of that kind of vibe.
Yeah. I love some of those old, the ability to basically treat it like a travelogue type of look backs.
Yeah.
This one, I'd seen the art for this one, had never seen it before, but we are getting the Sergeant Frog movie collection. This covers the first 5 films, 2006 to 2010. I know nothing about this one. Terry, you know this one?
No, but I love just looking at that cover. I love it. I know I would love it.
It looks energetic as hell.
Mm. Yeah, and it's kind of like we went to Japan in 2019 and then suddenly discovered things like Doraemon, which is a robot cat from the future with no ears. It's got that kind of vibe about it.
Yeah, Yeah, fully. One that I have had a lot of people interacting with this week is Monster. This is the Monster Collection #1. This covers 2004 to 2005 only. This is the first, 37 episodes? Yeah, 37 episodes. This is supposedly great, like one of the better anime series ever, and a lot of people recommending this to me this week. Have you seen Monster?
No, but it's got a creamy feel about it based on that précis that's on here. So
Yeah.
I would definitely give it a go. Yeah, it sounds like, it definitely feels like it's got a creamy vibe in an anime format. And I kind of like that cross-pollination there. I mean, I'd be intrigued by that.
This says the director ponders the dark side of the Hippocratic Oath in this nail-biting psychological thriller. That alone sounds quite interesting.
Yeah. I would definitely give that one a go. The manga was great, says Headcoop, yeah.
Yeah, gonna pick up the manga. I mean, yeah, I'm curious on this one. Then, super far out there, not mainstream. Nobody's ever heard of this little underground film. Digimon, Digital Monster, Season 3 coming to Blu-ray on that same day. Were you ever a Digimon person?
No, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh person, 100%. I've got Yu-Gi-Oh figures up in the man cave here. It's time to duel, but Digimon, no thanks.
Understood. Going far and wide to the other side, October 27th, here in the U.S., we are getting a Blu-ray steelbook of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the complete series of the 2002 show. I know nothing about this animated series. In fact, it was kind of hard to figure out which series this was even for because the listings of this were not very clear. I've never been a He-Man or Masters of the Universe person. Did you ever get to see this 2002 series?
No, I didn't. I saw the one that Kevin Smith did where they killed off He-Man straight away. But and I watched the old movie, of course. I haven't watched the new one yet. But this one, I don't know whether it got a release here or not. Hang on, my companion's back.
Yep. Another kitty. All right. Next is a film that I've been hearing a lot of great things about. August 11th on Blu-ray and DVD in the U.S., and then a different date, I'm assuming around that same time, because it's the same company releasing it in both countries. Black Bear Pictures is putting out Tuner that just came out. I believe it played festivals last year, but it's out, I believe, in theaters or VOD right now. So the director, Daniel Rohrer's first narrative feature, Leo Woodall, stars as a gifted young piano tuner whose heightened sense of hearing draws the attention of criminals who sees his talents as useful for opening safes as for tuning Steinways. So this sounds really great. Heard it was really well done. Some pretty decent names here. And Dustin freaking Hoffman is in this movie.
Yeah, and Jean Reno's in there too. I saw the trailer, and Leo Woodall was fantastic in Nuremberg. He has a fairly small role in Nuremberg, but shit, he nails it. He is probably the best actor in that movie.
Good movie. Yeah, I like Nuremberg. Then this year's Passenger coming to Blu-ray and DVD in the U.S. from Paramount at some point in the U.K., but the U.S. release is September 18th. Passenger, I did not get to see it. I am not finding any extras for this release, but I don't know. This is one I kind of like the work from the director, but this one just didn't appeal to me.
I got the feeling that I've seen a lot of movies like this. And that may well be the weakness of it. People, van life, people doing things, Race with the Devil with Warren Oates and Peter Fonda. We've seen this before.
The first trailer that they did of the jump scare full trailer, it wasn't awful. It was a great gimmick in a theater, but I feel like that almost should have been it. Like we didn't need a full film after that. Anyways, I don't know. I'd still like to see it once, but I got to be honest, probably won't be anytime soon.
Yeah.
A show that I've never seen, celebrating its 8th season, Sony releasing Outlander Season 8 on September 22nd on a Collector's Edition and Standard Edition Blu-ray. They're also putting it out on DVD. This will have 7 deleted scenes, a blooper reel, and then a featurette called Outlander for All Time. Have you ever seen the show Outlander?
I haven't seen the show. I know what it's about a woman time travels back and falls in love with guys, and nasty things happen because it's the past. But But yeah, it's not my bag, and I don't really have the urge to follow 8 seasons of something at the moment. Last thing I followed 7 seasons of was The West Wing. So, yeah, not my bag, but good luck to people who enjoy it.
I feel like my wife would love this movie or show. This one I did want to see. I've heard pretty good things about this one. August 25th, Blu-ray from AMC coming of the show The Audacity, season number 1. This one says, inside the bubble of Silicon Valley, a data mining CEO strives to turn insight and influence into profit and power in this darkly comedic look at the warped dreams, outsized egos, and ethical lapses of the self-styled inventors of the future. That being said, I don't know that I need to spend time with people like this, even if it's funny and all that. Life is rough on this front right now.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that it's punching upward, but there are series and movies that are a bit too raw for the moment, and I respect that it's tough for some people to watch this kind of stuff. And yeah, I think we've had enough of billionaires and very temporary trillionaires at the moment. Unless James Bond is shooting them through the forehead, I don't want to know.
So true. All right, another anime title. G-Kids and Shout are on September 22nd are releasing a Blu-ray of Cheo from 2025. This says, in a fantastical future, humans and mermaids, yes, mermaids, share a troubled coexistence. Steven, an anxious employee at a shipbuilding company, has big ideas to save the sea, but his life explodes into ecstatic chaos when bubbly mermaid princess Cheo proposes marriage out of the blue. Between shopping sprees, giant robots, and actual fireworks, the unlikely pair flounder through their new romance and unlock their true feelings. This will have storyboards and animatics, teasers and trailers, and ending credits. I love that ending credits are listed as a bonus feature.
I like the fact that this is probably more entertaining than Splash was.
And less censored.
Less censored, yeah, and yeah, go for it. Love is love. If you love Fish Lady, go for it. That's what I say.
Or even a merman.
Or even a merman, whatever kind of fish you like.
Blu-ray release coming soon from Kino Lorber, already up to the 4th Brit Noir collection. I have a feeling this will get fully detailed and announced here soon, probably coming out before the end of the year. These 4K restorations are by Studio Canal. These cover films from 1954 to 55, and they are The Techman Mystery, Time is My Enemy, and They Can't Hang Me. Are you a noir guy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And these British ones were quota quickies. They actually got paid by the government for making these small films.
Yep.
And some of them are great. I mean, just the cast in that. You've got George Coulouris in there. You've got Dennis Price, Renee Asherton. Good actors in small things. Andre Morell's in the third one.
Even Val Guest is directing that third one. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the grounding. That's where these guys started their careers. Terence Fisher, Val Guest, all these guys did these little 60, 70-minute crime things.
Yeah.
And they hit as hard as they could given censorship classifications at the time. And they kind of showed the underbelly of that post-war British optimism. And I do like that as just from a historical viewpoint.
That's true. So true. All right, next up, a 4K coming soon from Kino Lorber of The Hindenburg. This is from 1975. We got a brand new HDR and Dolby Vision Master on this one. George C. Scott, pretty great actor. Anne Bancroft also in this one. We've got William Atherton in this. Burgess Meredith, Charles Durning. Yeah, this sounds great. I don't know that I've ever seen this one, but directed by Robert Wise, this looks like it's got to be great.
I've seen it. No
Tell me.
spoilers, but things don't end well.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't like George C. Scott because he punched out women when he was drunk, but leaving that aside,
Touche.
It's one of those kind of disaster movies of the 70s. They did it with Earthquake. They did it with Roller Coaster. They did it with The Poseidon Adventure and all that kind of gear, Towering Inferno. This one, they thought, let's go back and kill some Germans. And they did. And, yeah, the special effects for the time are pretty good. And Bancroft's pretty good in this as well.
Yeah.
So watch it for the character actors and the big bang at the end.
I'm very curious to see how this one ends. I love a lot of those 70s disaster films. Or like Urban Allen, kind of incredible at what he does.
Yeah, Towering Inferno is surprisingly kind of the emotional beats really hit in that movie.
And I don't remember if Towering Inferno was, but a lot of those were just straight TV movies, basically, and they really got to people. I mean, even Earthquake, affected me when I was a kid. Growing up in California, loved that movie when I was younger.
I saw it in Sensorama where they had the subwoofers around the cinema, and it was great because I saw the movie and then I walked past it later, and outside the cinema you could hear the cinema vibrate from those sound woofers from outside the cinema.
That sounds fun. Oh man, that's great. Mickey Rourke in Johnny Handsome. We talked about this movie last week, I believe. This is coming on 4K and Blu-ray here in the U.S. from Kino on August 25th. We're not going to spend too much time on this. We've got a new commentary by the filmmaker Edgar Pablos with film historians Nathaniel Thompson and Howard S. Berger on there. We also got another new commentary by Elaine Silver and James Orsini. We got a new interview with Elizabeth McGovern on the Blu-ray disc as well, and then all kinds of extras that are coming on that Blu-ray disc with it. Big cast on this one. Big thing, though, Walter Hill. I imagine you've seen quite a few Walter Hill films.
Absolutely. Walter Hill is the man. I mean, did things on a fairly low budget. Just the best. I mean, The Warriors, all that kind of stuff. It's just fantastic. I don't particularly like his cut of The Warriors, but if you watch
I don't
this
think
movie,
he did either.
Yeah, if you watch this movie in reverse, you'll see what really happened to Mickey Rourke. He started out good looking and then went to ugly.
Oh, Mickey. All right, next, July 28th, 4K and Blu-ray and DVD releases coming of The Devil Wears Prada 2 from this year. This one, I still don't understand it. Like, they could be printing money if they release the first one of these on 4K right now. But no, they're just absolutely choosing not to. I also don't understand why they're doing this, and they'll release the 4K and the Blu-ray at the same time. And the Blu-ray's got much better art. Like, at least make the one that costs more money look decent.
You got the Tooch in front and center in the Blu-ray, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got to. Tooch is great. We got some featurettes on here at least. We've got updating the Icons featurette inside the Fashions and Closet, runaway music video by Lady Gaga and Doechii. We've got a gag reel audio commentary by David Frankel, Aline Brush, McKenna, and Molly Rogers. I've never seen either of the films. Got to be honest. So
neither have I. I'm not a frock movie guy apart from Funny Face. But yeah, it's for a certain audience. It's not for me. I don't care. I'm more interested in the gift than the wrapping paper.
I get it. I do need to see the first film at least. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I do agree with the gift sentiment.
Yeah.
Speaking of gift, Muscle Distribution trying to give a gift to cinema lovers everywhere. They are running a Kickstarter campaign right this moment to help fund the restoration of 4 different films. We've got George Butler's Pumping Iron 2, The Women from 1985, Kurt McDowell's Sparkles Tavern from 1976 to 1984, Rufus Butler Cedar's Screenplay from 1984, and Rick King's Off the Wall from 1976. These sort of restorations take a lot of money, and they are raising money to be able to restore them. They are scanning them in 4K. That is the biggest part of the expense. They're also transferring the original sound, digitally restoring and grading all of the films. They're also doing all of the Kickstarter fees that need to be covered. They are doing lab expenses and all of that comes with this. The shipping, all of that is extremely expensive. So if you've got something that you want to donate to a pretty decent cause, the Muscle Distribution Kickstarter might be a good place for you.
Yeah, but it says no AI upscaling, so you've got to love them for that.
I fully agree. We had a film that we were submitting for something today, and Fathom Events, trying to get some stuff with them. On their application here in the U.S., they specifically ask if anything in the film had AI generative art or generative AI in any way used for the film or the writing or anything like that. It was so wonderful to be able to see a big corporation asking that question.
And too few of them are.
I agree. In fact, too many of them are applauding the ones that do. August 25th, Cinema Guild, a name that we have not said for a long time. They're releasing a Blu-ray of Dry Leaf, a film by Alexander Cabrids, I believe is how you say the last name. This is supposed to be pretty great. Lisa, a sports photographer, vanishes off into the greener pastures of the Georgian countryside, traces of her passing embedded in a landscape like clues. Her father, Irakli, picks up her scent in the ochre foliage and communal soccer field she documented for her last assignment. His search and rescue trip defies her wishes not to be followed. With a disembodied voice in his passenger seat, he embarks on a winding pastoral picaresque marked by the recurring gaggles of adolescence, wild dogs, and oral histories he encounters along the way. This is shot with a pixelated W595 Sony Ericsson phone camera. Dry Leaf stands as a palpable salvo on cinematic degrowth. This will also have the 2017 Let the Summer Never Come Again, the first film by the director, a theatrical trailer, and a booklet with an essay by Patrick Holzpfel. Are you into any of this art house style of film?
I'll be interested in this one. I like the idea of it and the précis. You kind of go, yeah, I want to see where the mystery goes.
Yeah, that is for sure. And Cinema Guild usually does pretty great work.
Yeah.
And yes, Ronnie, they did just release here in Ghost Tropic, but I mean, that was a while ago that they announced that. It got delayed, I believe. So, yeah, we've not been able to champion them for quite some time. All right. Now, maybe the biggest news of the week for many horror lovers, at least. August 11th, we are finally getting a 4K and Blu-ray dual format release. Is coming in a steelbook here in the U.S. from 20th Century Fox of 2022's Barbarian, the Zach Kreger film. This is going to be a steelbook only release in the U.S., it looks like. The extras and all that. We do have a commentary with Zach Kreger, the producer Roy Lee. We've got some behind-the-scenes featurette behind Barbarian. Zach Kreger and the title cast and crew discuss both the unique and familiar horror elements that make Barbarian terrifying, and they also reveal the inspiration behind the film. We've got that commentary and some deleted scenes. This is obviously one that people have been lamenting has not been on home video ever in any format, in any territory, other than a shit ton of bootlegs that sold everywhere. And now you get a chance to be able to buy a real one. Were you able to see Barbarian?
No, and I haven't seen his other movie, Weapons, yet. I was kind of over horror movies for a little while when it came out.
Yeah.
And so I kind of dodged it, but I will check it out. I hear good things. But no, I haven't.
It's a good movie. Zach Kreger definitely knows how to direct a film. I know that a lot of people are sort of iffy on the tone shift. There's a scene in this movie that it goes from what is kind of inarguably an incredibly well-crafted intro to a film, and then it takes a very specific right turn. And later on, it takes another couple turns, and it's very different at that point, too. But man, tonally, this film is going in a few different directions, that's for sure. This is wild that this is getting a release, though. You know, obviously we've got the fact that Weapons took off last year. Resident Evil is already charting to do very well this year. The big thing, Amy Madigan winning an Oscar, I feel like probably had a lot to do with getting this out. The attention that Zach Kreger got after that is something that Fox really couldn't argue with. They can't hide that, and Zach Kreger's out there begging for a release of this. This is huge. I am so glad that this is going to be able to be out there. I can get rid of my bootleg and replace it with something good. But yeah, just like TB Kane says, they definitely lost a lot of revenue by just sitting on it. I mean, you could have released this literally 4 years ago, and people would have been thrilled the entire time. But no, now you just got people watching it at home, and many of those people now will not purchase it, guaranteed.
Yeah, you've got to hit that window right, particularly with something that was as hot as this was.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to lose money on it. I don't know whether there were rights issues or something. You never know what's going on in the back room, really, unless they want to tell you. But, yeah, it does seem an odd timing.
It is odd timing, but again, that Oscar, just like RV says, definitely probably at a price to pay for that. Weapons was massive, and again, Resident Evil coming out this year, they're definitely going to be riding that high of the Kreger name because it comes out right after this will be releasing. And
to be fair, Amy Madigan's been doing great work for 40 years. She totally deserves that.
Yeah, she is. I mean, even last year, that wasn't even just her only great performance last year. She did a few great things. Indicator today announced some French films. September 21st in the UK, September 22nd in the US is when all of these are coming out on Blu-ray. The first one is Crime Thief from 1969. This is directed by Jean-Louis Trintignant's wife, Nadine Trintignant. We've got a complex examination of obsession and alienation. Lots of names in this. Florinda Balkan, you've got Robert Hossein in this, and Nadine Trintignant's brother, the hugely prolific Serge Marquand. We've got film critic and expert speaking on the subject of women in film, discussing the filmmaker and her work that made this. We've got Felipe Janada exploring the film's inspirations, critical appreciation of the film. Lots of stuff brand new on this one. We've got an image gallery and then a limited edition booklet with new essays on the film and some other extras. I do not love French cinema. You seem to allude to that as a very different direction for you.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. I would definitely watch this. But it's got such a prosaic name about it.
Yeah.
Crime Thief. It's just... Even in French, it's a bloody ordinary name. They should have workshopped it a little bit better, I think, and then would have hit a bit harder. But yeah, I would watch it. I like Florinda Balkan. I like Jean-Louis Trintignant. I've liked him since I saw him in Il Sorpasso. You know, Rissy's movie.
Yeah.
Be interested to see it.
Decent looking cast. And then the next one is Defense des Savoirs from 1973. This, again, we've got Michel Bouquet on this one. You got Juliette Berthaud. You've got, Nadine is directing this one as well. You've got this one co-written by Alain Corneau. Photographed by renowned Jean-Luc Godard and Jacques Rivette collaborator William Lubchansky. This one, all kinds of new extras. And then we've got a set report from 1973, image galleries, and again, a booklet with a new essay on the film, a look at Nadine Trintignant's career, and an overview of critical responses. Indicator, just pretty great stuff. Have you gotten much from them?
Oh, I've got a lot of Indicator stuff, particularly old crime things, like Five the Hard Way and things like that. They do sales regularly, and you can just cherry pick the things that you kind of wanted to buy but didn't want to pay quite as much for. And every time Indicator has a sale, it's a good opportunity to pick up some movies that you wouldn't see otherwise. But you end up going, oh, that's a Phil Carlson crime movie. I really want that. And you pick it up and love it.
Especially if you can get free shipping. And the big thing is if you're going to invest that much to get free shipping, usually on their sales, you can get a lot of titles. And Indicator this year celebrating their 10-year anniversary. I will say 8 years ago, you used to be able to get a lot more titles for that free shipping threshold.
We don't get free shipping from them, so.
Yep. All right. Then the final one from them is The Actors. This is from 2000. This is a crazy cast. You got Jean-Paul Belmondo, Alain Delon, Maria Schneider. I mean, this is one.
Jean-Pierre Mariel, everybody.
Yeah. The cast alone made me go, okay, should I see this? All right. Paul says you do get free shipping from Indicator if you reach the threshold.
Yeah, my pocket doesn't, though.
It's just quite high.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is a 4K restoration visual essay by Jonathan Bygraves to the many French actors providing cameo appearances in here. You've got a new English translation subtitles and a booklet with a new essay by Sue Harris, excerpts from the interviews from the film and the director, Bertrand Blier. Lots of French films from Indicator lately. This is just adding straight to that.
Yeah, I think they have a good deal with Studio Canal, which is doing some deals with Australian companies as well. And they're just releasing so much stuff that people just didn't know existed.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And I'm kind of curious. I wonder if Indicator might start picking up some of the French films that either Indicator or even some other stuff. I feel like Imprint could do a lot of really great French releases down there.
Yeah, I know that Mad Men did a lot of French stuff 15, 20 years ago. I picked up French version of a whole bunch of things in those days, and then they just lost the rights to them. But they did hit here for a while.
Interesting. Okay. All right. That is indicator for that month. Let's carry right on. Big one. If you're in the U.S., the Kino Lorber sale launched today. They've got over 700 titles on sale. Lowest prices I saw was like $5. A lot of 4Ks, all the way down to $14.99 up to $17.99. Again, with their sales, it's gotten a little bit worse. Their free shipping threshold is $60 here in the U.S. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't seem as excited this time, but again, Kino Lorber's got a lot of those things where, hey, it's $6, throw it in the cart, and it might be something that you discover and love, and it's just an incredible film.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I've got the money, I will take a chance on something I'm just not sure of, and I'd say 2 out of 3 times it's going to be something that I'm really happy I got, and if it's not, I know someone I can pass it on to.
That's true. That is absolutely true. All right. Eureka also announced their next slate of announcements today. Both of these are going to be UK-only releases. September 21st on Blu-ray over in the UK is their next box set from the Masters of Cinema line. It is Eastern Trails, the Western at Difa. This covers from 1967 to 1975. You've got Fatal Error, Blood Brothers, Apaches, and Chingachgook, the Great Serpent. This is supposed to be a really solid box set. I know Will Dodson is super happy about this one. You've got the limited box set that's 2,000 copies. It's got a booklet in this, hardbound slipcase, interior packaging with new art and all that fun stuff. You've got a new commentary by Michael Brook, who is kind of incredible at commentary, so this is exciting. New interview on Dean Reed and Blood Brothers with East German cinema expert Sean Allen. New visual essay on the depictions of American history in Difa's Indian films by Jenny Barrett. Archival music performance by Dean Reed as well. All of these, so-called red westerns, quite a very curious point of, just cinematic history being state-controlled and, the country of Germany coming out of everything that they propagated for multiple decades, leading to, some of it was literally propaganda to making some very boundary-pushing cinema. Any thoughts on red westerns?
Yeah, I mean, the Karl May novels were in German. He was writing westerns in the 1920s and 30s, and they really hit culturally. So it's not surprising that both East and West Germany did a whole bunch of weird westerns. And it's just one of those things that hits with a certain audience because somebody decades before had written novels about it, and people were fond of the novels, so they then parlayed them into movies. Yeah, it is that interesting thing where you go, that's Bavaria, that is not Arizona. And but I kind of like the weirdness of that. There's something about it that if you have your tongue in your cheek, you can have a great time with these movies.
That is absolutely true. Another one that I'll throw out there is Deaf Crocodile released a 4K recently of White Son of the Desert. It is the only one from this era-ish that I've seen all the way in full. And I gotta say, that movie is kind of incredible. And I feel like people are sleeping on that one. UHD available on that one. And the scenery in that is beautiful. Just an astonishing movie. Love White Son of the Desert. All right. Also from Eureka, they're putting out a 4K and Blu-ray sort of release of, again, from their Masters of Cinema series, Cruel Tales of the Bohachi. This has 2 films in it. You've got Bohachi Bushido, Code of the Forgotten Eight, and then Bohachi Bushido, The Villain. Now, Bohachi Bushido, Code of the Forgotten Eight was released on 4K in the US by Mondo Macabro. The Villain was not. These are both by Teruo Ishii. And this, The Villain on this one is only on Blu-ray in this set, not on 4K. There are some extras here. It is not a 4K. Sorry, Craig. It just looks great. That's why. Not a 4K. White Sun's just pretty to look at. I still can't believe the setting in that movie. The fact that it's desert up right against the water like that is astonishing. Okay, so 2-disc set of Cruel Tales of the Bohachi. This one has a commentary on Code of the Forgotten Eight by Tom Mess, new commentary on The Villain by Arne Venema and Stefan Hammond, new visual essay on Bohachi Bushido films and Toei's evolving production strategies in the 70s by Joe Hinkenbottom, interview with Shinya Tsukamoto on this one as well, some archival extras and audio interviews and such. Cruel Tales of Bohachi. Have you seen either of these films?
No, but they sound a little bit like the Sleepy Eyes of Death series, which I really enjoyed. That one is, it's got a Ronan who basically is amoral.
Yeah.
And everybody's got a code of honor except him. And he sits at the center of this. This feels a little bit like that, where because somebody doesn't go with the cultural norms of the era, he ends up needing to stab about 55 different guys.
Is that it?
That's the way these things work, yeah.
Code of the Forgotten Eight is a beautiful film. I will say that one kind of shocked me when Mondo Macabro put that out. I watched that 4K, and literally 2 minutes into that movie, I was mouth open, agape, with very curious what I was about to see, because already shots that I had not seen anything like that before. Just an astonishingly beautiful movie. If you are into this style or Toru Ishii at all, I think you will likely love at least one of these two films. And I'm keen on seeing The Villain as well.
Cool.
Hey, you've probably heard of this one. December 8th, we are getting a 4K complete series collection from Warner Brothers of The Sopranos. This is going to be a collectible, limited edition, hardcover, lay-flat book packaging with these damn sleeves again. But I get it, because it's a lot of discs, and anything else is not entirely practical. It's 28 discs in this one. There will be a 2 brand new Blu-ray bonus discs, including all new, never before seen David Chase bonus featurette. They have not named that one yet. And then there is going to be a 2-part HBO original documentary, Wise Guy, David Chase and the Sopranos, directed by Academy Award winner Alex Gibney. This is a 2-part documentary that sounds fascinating. Did you watch The Sopranos at all?
No, I didn't, unfortunately. I hear good things about it. It's like The Wire. I never got into watching The Wire. But Sopranos, I'm glad it's got a decent release, but it was never really my bag. I was watching sleazy horror films instead.
Yeah. I quite like the show. I think it is very well made. I don't love the price, so I certainly will wait on that to come down. The Blu-rays didn't look great, though, and I'm quite keen on seeing some reviews on this to see how the 4Ks look. This is again, wonderfully shot movie. Obviously, David Chase has done some huge things for TV, and I mean, Gandolfini, kind of hard to argue with the acting power that he had, for sure.
Yeah, the whole ensemble apparently worked well in that.
They really did. Great acting. Excited about Sailor Moon, huh?
Absolutely. The pretty guardian who fights for love and for justice.
So this is an interesting rollout. Over in the UK, for the 5 months starting in August and going all the way to January, we are getting the first 5 seasons in Blu-ray steelbooks of Sailor Moon. The first one is going to be August 24th. The second one is going to be September 28th. Third one is October 26th. Fourth one is November 30th. And the fifth one is January 11th. I've never seen anything Sailor Moon. I know that they definitely have their fans here. I will say these are quite expensive for what they are. They are 5 discs in a steelbook with a tiny little booklet, and they look to be like a little over $100 each.
I've got the first 2 seasons on DVD. And when I was in Japan, I went to the Sailor Moon store. So there's me looking like I do, and 55 teenage girls in the store. And the only version of Monopoly I've got is the Sailor Moon Monopoly.
Very, very interesting. All right. Yeah. Check out Sailor Moon if you're into it. Nice. Next one is our friend Stan Geezy, who is, I believe, in the chat still tonight, has released his newest book, which is Naked Vampires from Outer Space, Toby Hooper's Life Force. Stan is an incredible writer. If you are ever able to check out the Physical Media Advocate, he writes in most of the issues. He is incredible, and I cannot wait to get this in. You can get it in hardcover. You can get it in paperback. Pretty decent prices. For those that don't know, Stan has been heavily involved in Toby Hooper's life. He was on set on multiple films. He is able to write literally from experience. He has already written multiple films on Toby Hooper projects. He's got a book on spontaneous combustion that you can check out, and he's also got another one on I'm Dangerous Tonight that you can read. He also is an incredible artist and has a book of caricatures called Facials. All of those are available on Amazon for fairly inexpensive. If you've never seen Life Force, make some time for it. It's a special movie. Have you seen Life Force before, Terry? I assume so.
Yeah, I got the big imprint one that was like the size of a family Bible.
Of a small car, yeah.
And yeah, the small one, yeah. I remember when I first saw Life Force, it was on VHS. And all of the bits with Matilda May naked, the videotape had been worn out from people rewinding and watching that bit of the videotape. I had to go and get another copy of it to watch the whole movie without it being annoying.
There's the author of this book hanging out in the chat right there, Stan Geezy. I don't know if he wanted me to reveal this or not, but I will say, speaking of Matilda May, the first version of this cover definitely had to be redone because social media did not like him sharing those very clear nipples.
Spoiled thoughts.
Hey, we're going to be talking about Severin a lot more in just a few minutes, but they announced today out of nowhere that the Al Adamson Masterpiece Collection is reconfigured and will be back in print starting this weekend. Now, this is a very interesting one because 32 films in a box set released by Severin is the first of their kind of new era of Severin, where they started releasing these massive giant box sets, and this thing sold so quickly and they lost the license to it that they had to put it out of print pretty much like in the first month after it came out. And so this thing has been selling for a lot of money. Like some people were spending over $400 or $500 for this box set, literally. And they've had to fix it. It is now down to 29 films. They had to take out a couple of the films due to some licensing problems. One of them is two versions of the same film. I think the best of everything is still here, but I'm just glad that people get a chance to get these again. Are you a Al Adamson person in any way?
I have seen Satan Sadists, and I may well have seen one or two other ones, but he's a pretty bad filmmaker, let's be honest. They're really not great movies, but they are drive-in movies of a certain era, so people love them.
They're certainly interesting, and I will say the documentary in this on Al Adamson is incredible. It's like one of the first in-house documentary productions for Severin that just blew me away. It is so well done. The story of him as a filmmaker is, again, like Terry said, let's be honest, better than most of his films itself. But it is certainly worth checking out at some point, and especially if you can wait for a sale. If this can stay in print for much longer, I think people will be quite happy with this. Okay, Bruce Lee, huh? We get to talk about him again. August 25th, we are getting a 4K and Blu-ray release from Blue Underground of Circle of Iron. The interesting thing is that this is coming again from Blue Underground as a steelbook only. Not only that, it is exclusive to the MVD shop, which very odd choice from Blue Underground to suddenly lock their things in a steelbook on the MVD shop. I don't get it, but whatever. Christopher Lee, Jeff Cooper, Bobby McDowell, Eli Wallach, but the big one, of course, David Carradine in Circle of Iron, which came from Bruce Lee, even though he was not able to actually live to see this get made after he had worked on the story for this little bit. Have you seen Circle of Iron? What can you tell us about it, Terry?
I have a long time ago. I'll be honest with you, it's the best Kung Fu movie with Roddy McDowell in it. And David Carradine never looked that good in real life.
No, God, no.
No. Yeah, it's pretentious. I'll be honest with you. It's a bit pretentious. But if you like this kind of movie, you're going to enjoy it. If you like Christopher Lee, you're going to enjoy the bits with Christopher Lee in it. But go in with your expectations slightly less than mid, and you will have a good time with it.
Yeah. This does have a Atmos soundtrack. You've got HDR on this one, Dolby Vision, all that fun stuff. There is going to be a steelbook, like I said, with a clear slipcover around the steelbook. You got an audio commentary with the director Richard Moore here. Brand new audio commentary with Frank Jang and Chris Paggiali on this one. Interview with the star David Carradine. A new interview with the co-star Anthony DeLongis. some archival interviews and audio interviews and such on this, plus a new poster and stills gallery. I've not been able to see this one. Kind of want to check it out, but again, at that price and as a steelbook and locked to the MVD shop, got to be honest, I've got no real motivation to check this out anytime soon. But I bet it's going to look great because Blue Underground usually does pretty great restorations.
Yeah, I think when it came out in Australia, it was known as the Silent Flute.
The Silent Flute.
Yeah.
All right. That's a very different title.
It is.
Peter Sellers. You into Peter Sellers?
Yes and no. Depends on the movie. I think I liked him when he was a character actor. He did a couple of crime movies in the late 50s where he played a really nasty criminal. There was one with Richard Todd in it. I think I like The Road Not Traveled with Peter Sellers, where he ended up being a really fantastic villain character actor. But his comedy can leave me a bit cold.
Yeah. Well, these are coming on Blu-ray in a box set from Studio Canal as part of their Vintage Classics line. And this is an 8-film box set covering 1955 to 1963 on August 17th in the UK. You've got in this a bunch of films that have been released, some of them in better releases on better quality formats. You've got The Lady Killers, The Smallest Show on Earth, Carlton Brown of the FO, I'm All Right, Jack, Two-Way Stretch, Only Two Can Play, The Wrong Arm of the Law, and Heavens Above. Plus, this has a 32-page booklet. If you're looking for the best release of these films, you probably already got something else. But if not, this will probably be a nice budget way to pick up all 8 of them in one fell swoop.
Yeah, Lady Killers is okay, but the rest of them are a bit mid.
Lady Killers is fun, for sure.
Yeah.
July 28th, we are getting a 4K Blu-ray and DVD from Universal of Pressure from this year with Brendan Fraser and Andrew Scott. Not been able to see this. Here, Kerry Condon's pretty good in this as well. Andrew Scott's just a great actor, and obviously Brendan Fraser is always pretty good. You got a couple featurettes on this, but that is it. Any thoughts on Pressure?
Spoiler, they won the war.
So I've heard. I guess we're just getting all the ending of these movies spoiled tonight, though.
Yeah, but I've seen the trailer of it, but I haven't seen the movie itself. I do like Andrew Scott. I do like Brendan Fraser. But do we need another World War II movie at the moment?
It had been at least 12 minutes, Terry. Let's be.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of that kind of stuff with people paying famous people from World War II. We need to take a break.
Well, it's also just basically on the news. So, all right. So that is Pressure. And now that takes us to 10 minutes from now. The Severance sale is starting, and we've got a rundown of all of their bundles that are available for tonight. We had covered some of the films themselves. I asked, Terry, do you have anything from Severin in your collection?
I've got a couple of things. I did get Day of the Animal, and I reviewed it.
Love that movie. Yeah, you just covered that like 4 or 5 videos ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and had a great time with it. Leslie Nielsen wrestling a grizzly bear. That's all you need to know about that movie. It's just the best mad movie. And you've got the usual thing, Michael Ansara, who was Syrian, playing a First Nations American again. You just got to go in it, maybe have a couple of drinks beforehand and have a great time with that movie.
All right, so starting in literally less than 10 minutes, the Severance sale is live tonight at midnight Eastern, and it is going until Tuesday. That is going to be, 12:01 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday. Lots and lots of time to spend your hard-earned money. Don't worry about that. Let's go through all the bundles real quick, just so you can see if there's something you might want to jump on when it goes live. First one, we talked about What Have You Done to Solange tonight? $69. That gets you a T-shirt and the 4K release. That's it. Not a great price, but I mean it's a solid release. I mean you've got a 4-disc 4K release plus a T-shirt, and it's a good-looking T-shirt. This looks like a fun time at least. Then the Street Warriors bundle. We didn't get to talk about this one much tonight, but this is going to have the Perros Callejeros trilogy, which is a 3-disc Blu-ray set, and then Street Warriors, the Game of Cine Kinky in this. Severin built another board game. That is wild. This one is going to be $75. And again, for 3 films and a board game, That feels to me like a lot better than a black T-shirt and a 4K of one film. Anyways, this seems like a good price. Next one is the Fulci Feline Collection. This is going to be $50, and you get a few things. You get the Black Cat on 4K, Fulci's Black Cat. You get I still can't believe they're doing this, a Lucio Fulci catnip toy, which is hilarious. And then a Patrick McGee Hall of Fame enamel pin, 3-disc 4K set, a toy for your cat, and then a pin. This seems like a pretty good deal too. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about Severance pricing, but this is a decent sale. It feels like.
And where else are you going to get a Lucio Fulci catnip toy?
It's certainly not at PetSmart, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Next is the Grimmest Reapers bundle. This one will have Anthropophagus 3-disc set, Absurd 2-disc set, Fear the Reapers limited slipcase to cover both of those films, the Anthropophagus shirt that you can see in the bottom right, and then the Annie Bell Hall of Fame pin. I know a few people are going to be wanting that Annie Bell film pin. Yeah, good movies, 2 4K movies, shirt and a pin. Not terrible. And then we've got the Molto Bino bundle. This one limited to only 150 copies of the entire bundle, $85. So this one, you get Dark Waters, the 4-disc 4K set of that. The slipcase on that one is autographed on the wrap of that. Not the slipcase, sorry, the wrap. And then you also get Astrid Saints, the new film from the same director. You get this full 300-piece jigsaw puzzle that you see on the screen here. Ooh. And then an autographed martyr card. God, there's a lot of stuff in this, and it's $85. This seems like a pretty great price, actually, for what you're getting on this.
Yeah, 5 hours of special features. That's good value anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Next is the Just the Discs bundle, and this is where it starts to get absurd. So this is $304, and you get so much. You've got What Have You Done to Solange, The Autopsy of Jane Doe 4K, The Black Cat 4K, The Maniac Remake 4K, The Peros Callejeros Trilogy, Metamorphosis on 4K, Terror Express 4K, The Manitou 4K, and then Sheila and the Brainstem 2-disc Blu-ray collection. That is so much, and it's $304. That's a lot of discs for $300.
And the Manitou is worth 100 of that.
It truly is a wild, wild movie. And then the Everything bundle. You get all the films that we just mentioned, plus this one limited to 75 and totaling $389. So you get all those films. You get 2 T-shirts. You get the What Have You Done to Solange T-shirt. You get the Severance Cinema Club T-shirt, Severance Cinema Club tote bag, Lucio Fulci catnip toy, the Patrick McGee Hall of Fame pin, the board game for the Kinky box set, and that is quite a bit altogether. So many things. If you are keen on their box sets, those will be on sale on Saturday, starting at midnight, 12:01 a.m., and then going till midnight Eastern on Sunday or late Saturday, whatever. These are 50% off on all of these, which include all the Hans BRs, both volumes 1 and 2, the Lindsay Baker collection, the Cliff Twemlow collection, Cushing Curiosities, Danza Macabre volumes 1 through 3, the Andy Milligan box set, Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee volumes 1 and 2, the Game of Clones Bruceploitation collection, House of Psychotic Women 1 and 2, Incredibly Strange Films of Ray Dennis Steckler collection, Nunsploitation box set, The Sensual World of Black Emmanuel, Violent Streets, the Lindsay Millian collection. And then the last thing is, if you had not seen their 4K Upgrade Sunday, they do have a bundle which includes all of those. It is, let me see, I'm pulling it up right now because for some reason I did not put that in the post, but I am getting it up on another sheet right now. Anything here that you would be interested in checking out eventually there, Terry?
The Black Emmanuel, definitely. Ray Dennis Steckler. I first saw a Ray Dennis Steckler movie when I was 8 on late night TV. So, yeah, those would be the 2 because that's the kind of person I am.
I get it. 4K Upgrade Sunday. This bundle limited to 200. This gets you the Anthropophagus and Absurd 4Ks in the slipcase. You get the Beyond the Darkness 4K in the slipcase. You get the Dark Waters 4K with the signed wrap, Astrid Saints Blu-ray, and then the signed Martyrs card. All of that for $183. So if you want everything that they're doing, you gotta put out a lot of money. You're talking over $500 for everything that's coming out just this weekend from Severin. It is so many things. That being said, Severin's pretty much always super high quality. I get the price. It doesn't feel super overpriced to me, but it's also a shit ton of movies. It is so much that they are presenting to you. I don't know if I'm keen on getting anything specifically, but it is going to be a very, very solid sale from the sound of it.
That'd be the great place to start a cult movie collection if you're suddenly cashed up. Just get that stuff and build outward from there.
Cashed up, get all of that, and all in immaculate 4K UHD from one of the better companies that are restoring films in 4K. That being said, the sale is live starting literally in 2 minutes. So if you are into it, check that out. We're going to check out a little bit of this, and then we're going to talk about some Aussie cinema. You have talked about some of Severin stuff and Day of the Animals. Anything else that you've picked up from them over the years?
Not really, because it can be prohibitively expensive for us to pick up Severin.
Yeah.
And I am but a humble pensioner. So yeah, it's not a lot, but there's a lot I would like to. And I've seen enough of their stuff, and one or two things I picked up. I forget what else I've done. But that stuff I like. It's definitely my kind of films that they put out.
I love how they put out like some of the sleaziest things, these director's box sets, and then because David is going to be David, he drops in like a random British art house film, and you're just like, yeah, this makes sense. It's Severin. This is what they do.
And there can be crossover too. There's things like The Shout, which is both a British art house film and a horror movie at the same time. So, there is crossover there.
Let's see. Gary says they've got a lot of great stuff there. So many good box sets. What else? Severin, including a board game. That's commitment. Yeah, and it's not even their first one. They've gone all in on some of that for sure. And yeah, Ronnie agreed. All these sales happening at once. Don't forget the Criterion sale starts in just a couple hours as well. So got to count your pennies here at some point. Otherwise, it's not going to be a good weekend for everybody. That's for sure. Severin Kino Criterion sale. All right. It is live and available for everybody that wants in. Bundles are up now. I'm going to check out, see if they got any like super clearance items. I know that was the big surprise last time. They had some stuff that was down to like $7. Very, very inexpensive. Let's see what
I just saw the War Game there.
Yeah, that nope, did I miss it? Oh wow.
Australia After Dark. Cool.
I don't think I knew about that one. That's an old Intervision DVD. It's only $5 right now.
Yeah, and it's Australia's first Mondo movie.
Ooh. Got some 75% off in this section. That is pretty impressive. Can't really complain when it's 75% off. What else we got here?
If I'm right, there's one person in Australia After Dark that I met once. A woman who was a dominatrix called Madame Lash. I met her socially once. It wasn't professionally, but it was socially, yeah.
Oh, that wasn't even all of them. You got to click on view all, I guess. They got 87 things at 75% off. Whew, Birdemic. Have you checked out Birdemic?
I have, and I could do better on my channel with the special effects in Birdemic, yeah.
This is that Al Adamson documentary I was talking about. You can get the Blu-ray of just the doc for $7.50. In fact, is that box set live? Is that something that we can go check out right now? Let's actually use spaces as we type. Al Adamson. Al Adamson stickers, some of his films. Okay, so the original box out of print. Okay, it's not up yet, so it'll probably be up on Saturday during the box set sale. I feel like Severin's trying to wash their hands of Birdemic after the third one.
It does have some good Filipino horror there, Brides of Blood and Brain of Blood and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Carnival Magic, that's a good one. Cries of Pleasure from Jess Franco down to only $7.50. Devolve down to $7.50. Driving Master.
Curse of the
that was pretty
Vampires.
fun.
Yeah.
Curse of the Vampire. $7.50 is a great price for some of these.
Mm.
Here's a couple more Mondo movies. Echo and the Forbidden.
Mm.
Future Shock, The Story of 2000 AD down to $7.50. God, Jack the Ripper, $6.25. Horrors of Spider Island. And you get a slipcover for $8.75. Yes, Gary, they are doing stacking. Absolutely. Killer Crocodile, the Dr. Blood films.
Yeah, if you want the Dr. Blood films, there is a good deal with them on Amazon at the moment. That's where I picked mine up, and I got them on Blu-ray really cheaply. All of them, all 4 of them.
Let's see.
Ozploitation trailer explosion, $5.
It's not too bad. It's quote only DVD, but yeah, it's $5. Kind of can't argue with that. More Mondo films here. You've got Mondo Balordo, and then Mondo Bizarro, Mondo Freudo. Cool. Primitives here. Revenge of the Living Dead Girls for only $7.50. Robo War.
Yeah.
Queen of Blood. Missed it. There it is. Yeah, Queen of Blood for $5. Yeesh. Saint Bernard. Have you seen Saint Bernard?
No, I haven't.
Loved that movie. I know that I'm a very small minority that loved that movie, but man, loved Saint Bernard. Got Stir is already down to $7.50. That is a wildly low price. Strike Commando 1 and 2 for less than $9 each.
Terrorism, man. That's another one of those Blood Island movies too.
Yep.
There we go. ABCs of Love and Sex Australian style.
Well, open that in another tab. The Beast Must Die, The Blood Drinkers. That's another one of the Thai horror films, I think, right?
Filipino, I think.
Or Filipino, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The 5 Days Standard Edition, Argento, down to $7.50.
The Killing of America, another Monday. Yeah.
Incredible documentary. Geez, these are great prices. Wild Wild World of James Mansfield for only $7.50. Violence in a Women's Prison for $7.50. When the Wind Blows, definitely recommend that one for $7.50. Jeez, good stuff. Bundles are all available already. And then don't forget, the box set sale will be Saturday. So if there's box sets you want, do not purchase them yet. They will, if they were on that list, they will be on sale on Saturday.
Oh, look, you can get the catnip toy by itself.
Oh, that helps a lot. $5. That's doable. That's not that bad at all. Bay of Blood sticker available. You can get the Kinky game by itself for only $40. Eddie the Flying Gimp sticker. Are these? Jeez, they got all kinds of stuff in the pre-order section that was not announced. They got a new sticker for Absurd. Bronson Lee Karate sticker. Vampiros Lesbos.
Yeah.
God, these look great.
Disco Italiano stickers.
Yeah, that disco box set looks wild. What is order to be shipped separately? Do not combine. Are they trying to add this item to your cart if you wish for that entire order to ship separately? Oh, so if you buy brand new sale items, you can set those to be delivered later. And if you're getting sale items, you can get those outside of that. That's a really smart way to do that. I'm glad they're doing that. All right. We got a lot of stuff that's first time on sale here we could talk about too. 4K of Jack the Ripper, some of the Doctor Who releases that they've done. In My Skin on 4K down to $27.50.
Entertaining Mr. Sloan.
I've not seen that one yet. Is it good?
It's fun. It's based on a Joe Orton play.
Yeah.
It's got Peter McHenry and Harry Andrews and Beryl Reid. I like it. It's got a good soundtrack by Georgie Fame.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, not as much as I'd expect first time on sale. There's literally only 12 things, but I'm glad stuff is going on sale for the first time. Always helpful. All right. We since we knew all the stuff going into this, there's not as many things to check out for Severin, but obviously, make some wise choices. Check out stuff that you're into. Severin has a pretty incredible catalog of titles, and even if they're not 75% off, there's a lot of really great stuff that'll be priced at 50% off, and definitely worth watching. As everybody's browsing, let's talk about some Aussie films and Ozploitation, Terry.
Yeah, I got 5 things. None of them are exploitation because you asked me not to.
Well,
I've got
I was
5
trying to go a
things
little
for
more
you.
modern. We had John and Tony on here from Imprint Films a while ago, and I think they ate up Ozploitation back then.
That's fine. Yep. I'm going to go with my favorite Australian movie because I think it's a good place to start. And this is a kind of historical drama about the era from 1946 to 1956. Told through the lens of newsreel photographers, because before TV came in 1956 in Australia, people would go to cinemas to see newsreels of things. There's a movie called Newsfront, which is just incredible. Directed by Phil Noyce, if I'm remembering correctly. Yep. And it stars Bill Hunter as a guy who is working for one of 2 newsreel companies. They go to where the news is. They film it. They rush it back to work, and release it in cinemas. And it's basically a story of Australia in the 10-year post-war period. And the lovely thing this movie does is it gets original newsreel footage and splices it perfectly with newly filmed stuff. So they'll do things like the Maitland floods up above Newcastle, north of Sydney, and they will splice in the actors perfectly. The lighting is all done perfectly. The whole lot's done perfectly. And it's the story of this guy right up until the 1956 Melbourne Olympics. Incredible movie, and it speaks to the best of Australian masculinity, because there's a Crocodile Dundee bullshit. There's Wake in Fright. There's all those kind of false narratives about the best of us. But Len Maguire, the character played by Bill Hunter in this, is a man of honour. And he's given an opportunity to make a lot of money at the end of the film. And he doesn't take it because it's the wrong thing to do. It's just an incredible piece of Australian cinema. And the matching of the newsreel footage to the live footage that they filmed is just incredible. Yeah, it does have a stacked cast. It's got so many good actors in it. People like Brian Brown's in there, Chris Hayward, John Hewitt, Angela Punchman McGregor, Drew Forsyth. It's just an incredible piece of cinema. And it's only ever had a DVD release here. I think Madman put it out. And if my house catches fire, this is one of the things I'm going to grab to take with me, because it's just such a fantastic film.
This sounds astonishing. I'm kind of wondering why there's not an HD release of this. Is there any story why?
I don't know why. I don't know whether it's a rights thing with music or whatever it is. It's always hard to tell. But Newsfront needs, I'd say, a 4K release because I love it, but at least a Blu-ray release with art cards and a book with it. I think it's one of those forgotten Australian films. It won a lot of awards at the time, the Australian Film Industry Awards, because of the cinematography, the acting, the screenplay. It's just a magic piece of film that very few people know about.
Had no idea. This sounds amazing. Like, I mean, Paul's saying he studied it at university. Like, that sounds incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just unforgettable once you see it. And every now and then when things politically here get shitty the way they are starting to now, I'll rewatch it to remind myself of the best of my country.
All right. The 5 that I've listed out, sure, we didn't lean into Ozploitation, but because we went into some of the older ones when John and Tony were on the show, I chose some modern horror movies. I got a few on here, and a couple that are not horror, but some that you don't probably think of when you think of Aussie films. And so mine are probably going to be very different than Newsfront. I'm sorry. But the first one is kind of an obvious one that I just rewatched fairly recently. And I'm sure many people have seen this before, but I had a kind of a newfound appreciation for Wolf Creek recently. Really well made, and watching that after going to Australia and seeing just the sheer size of the country and being able to,
You haven't seen a third of it.
no, well, no, I don't even think I saw 1% of it. Literally, like, it is a film that kind of gets lumped into the torture porn era that came out, starting with things like Saw 2 and some of the Eli Roth bullshit from back then. But there's something about Wolf Creek that persists and really weighs on you in a very interesting way. And really, it's because of this incredible, just wild performance from our out of nowhere villain that is this just astonishing, intimidating factor in this movie. And if you've not seen it in a while, I implore you to go back and watch Wolf Creek, because there's a couple scenes in this that are just vile and situations that I it's not even like terror. It's more of just like, well, it's the full lack of hope. There's nothing that you can do in this moment. It is absolute isolation. It is pain. It is just crazy. I will say, rewatching it recently, there was definitely a couple scenes that logically made zero sense whatsoever. A couple of choices made by people in the film just would never have actually been the choices made. That being said, still a great film. God, I love Wolf Creek.
Yeah, John Jarrett, who stars in it, was doing, before he made Wolf Creek, he was doing lifestyle television with his then wife, Noni Hazelhurst. So we knew him as the guy who made benches for your backyard. And, and a really incredible actor, great range. And the movie also talks to white Australia's relationship with the outback.
Yeah.
The fact that it is so vast, and we don't have the First Nations cultures know it incredibly well, but for us it's still intimidating, and the movie talks to that a little bit, which is kind of interesting.
It does. I mean, and there's a lot of Australian films that sort of touch on even just the idea of the outback and the idea of these people that are isolated, literally, that can go months without interfacing with people other than family or people that they live with. If I remember, I think it's Body Melt has a couple scenes where it's literally just out in the middle of nowhere, basically people interacting for the first time in a while, and it's just so interesting to picture that.
Body Melt, part of it was filmed less than a kilometre from where I'm sitting now. The cul-de-sac of houses, that's in my hood.
Nice. I truly love Body Melt. It is an amazing movie.
It's bad fun.
All right. What is the second one that we're going to talk about?
It's a recent Australian film. It only got a limited physical media release from Umbrella. It's a First Nations film directed by John Bell, and it stars Sherry Sevens and Mean White. And it's a movie called The Mugai, which is about an ancestral spirit in the bush that takes Indigenous children. And the movie is fantastic. It leans into the stolen generations, the generations of Indigenous kids that were stolen from their parents and raised in orphanages or adopted by white people, which happened right up until the 1960s. I went to school with stolen generation kids. And the movie is about that generational trauma, about that. And the creature, when you finally see it, is incredible. Sherry Sevens is a fantastic actor. Mean White's a fantastic actor. It's all done from an Indigenous viewpoint. She was raised by white people, her character, and her real mother comes along and says to her, the Mugai is coming for your kid. And she had a very difficult birth. She died for a moment on the operating table, and they revived her. And that's how the Mugai spirit got in to identify her kid. Fantastic film. It's about the fears of parenthood as much as anything, which is a very universal thing for people. But it's a nice little low budget, unknown film that I really like. It's so underrated and so disregarded. Umbrella only got the ability to release 500 copies of it, but I think it is. It's just for me, it's a hidden gem of Australian cinema, and I'm really big on First Nation cinema as well. There's just so much good stuff coming out, but people are rewatching Baz Luhrmann's bullshit instead of watching this stuff. Deborah Mailman is in that one. Yeah, absolutely, Paul, in a small role. Deborah Mailman is just one of our best actresses ever. Just a fantastic little film.
I did not know about the whole they could only sell 500 of these. That is not...
Yeah, it's a limited edition of 500. You can see there.
Huh. All right, and there's no standard for that one?
No, this is the edition that came out. There are a lot of small films. I think Umbrella does it and says to them, we can only release 500 of these. We will give it a release because nobody else will.
Right.
And so what they're doing is giving an opportunity for these filmmakers to get their stuff out there while still not taking a financial risk on it.
Damn. All right. Well, I got to find a way to see this. That sounds great. It's on Prime, says Head Coop. And then
Cool.
Connor says, speaking of Australian films, just watched Muriel's Wedding for the first time. Loved it. Really great Toni Collette performance on that.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann, I don't like
My next choice, Strictly Come Dancing. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Let's go with you know what? Let's stick with Umbrella because they put out an incredible release of this recently. And again, very obvious pick if you are super into modern Australian horror. I've got two more obvious picks, but the big one for me, Lake Mungo. I really love mockumentary stuff. I'm a big documentary fan. The ability to make an interesting edit out of a film that is true and accurate and entertaining is much more difficult than you would think for some of these stories. And then they come along with Lake Mungo, and just like Blair Witch Project, if you go into this thinking this is a true story and it is compelling and hard to believe and what have you, it is an experience in and of itself. Lake Mungo got a release from Second Sight. It was very good. It was a nice release for the UK. People bought it up, ate it up here in the US as well. And then Umbrella came out and said, hold my beer. I'm going to blow that out of the goddamn water. And Jesus, did they. And this is where Umbrella has truly kind of stepped up and above what, in a way, anybody else in Australia has done for Australian film. Umbrella continues to champion, restore proper Australian cinema, bring light to not just horror things, but underground art house type films for Australia, modern contemporary films that are not, you just talked about one. There's a bunch of Australian films that have gotten very small releases, but again, nobody else is putting them out anywhere else, and they're, for the most part, pretty great movies. Australia has a pretty solid film industry, and I'm want to talk about some other ones that are even newer than Lake Mungo here soon. But yeah, Lake Mungo, if you go into it suspending disbelief in a way where you believe it or attempt to say this is a real story specifically, my goodness, Lake Mungo is harrowing and odd and weird and done in a way where you're it's one of those movies where you're questioning what your eyes are actually seeing a lot. And that in and of itself, especially in that era of horror, it was just entertaining in a very lingering way.
Yeah, and the real Lake Mungo, I just checked, I can drive there in 6 hours and 39 minutes.
Not bad. Not bad.
It's up in southern New South Wales. So, absolutely. And it's relatively low budget too, which I like. The amount of crazily good stuff that comes out on a low budget here, I'm really proud of.
Yep, they are not going to, I mean, even so, the next one I'm going to talk about is not a huge budget other than the cast for the most part, but I agree.
Cool. Next one I got is another one that came out on a 500 edition from Umbrella. Came out, I think it's 2023. It's a little movie called Bird Eater.
I've heard so many great things about this one.
Bird Eater is incredible. It's got some of the same vibe as a number of other Australian films like Waking Fright. Basically, the story is a bunch of guys are going out for a bucks night before one of them gets married. And they rent a country cottage out in the bush. And the fiance of the groom insists on coming along. They're very codependent for reasons that the movie unfurls. And one of the other guy's girlfriends comes along as well to keep her company. And they go to this country cottage, and things start developing. We find out more about all the relationships. We find out how toxic all of the guys in this are, and how there's a secret level to a couple of the relationships that's very, very disturbing. Shabana Aziz is in it. She's in The Pit now in America, doing really good work there, playing the fiance. It's just a very dark Australian movie, not large budget. They had problems with the production as well because they built their sets and the river flooded and washed them all away, and they had to go back and redo them. Incredible film, and it doesn't get anywhere near the regard it should. And this is the movie that Shabana Aziz did and ended up getting the gig working in the United States on things like The Pit. And she's got a major role, continuing role in that film, in that series. But the darkness of it is incredible. It's one of those, there you go, the more guys available at JB Hi-Fi here in Australia for $9. But there's the other cover for it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is very much in the same flavour as Wake in Fright, but from a more modern viewpoint and a very much more contained thing. And it's not out in the desert; it's in the bushland, like it's in coastal forests. But
I was about to say, is it still just as sweaty? Because Wake in Fright is one of the sweatiest movies ever.
Sweaty. It'll make you want to have a shower, but for different reasons. Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to see Bird Eater. This is one. It seemed to get under some people's skin and really made an impact to those that have watched it. So yeah, that's a solid pick from what I hear.
Yeah.
The last of my very obvious modern, very horror things. I just want to talk about the stuff that has come out over the last few years. Even though it's big and it's A24 and all that bullshit, I really want to highlight Bring Her Back, because the Philippou brothers made two really great movies back to back. And the fact that they literally back to back, Bring Her Back was filmed, I believe, before Talk to Me was even released. And so first off, the confidence to be able to do that when that first movie hasn't hit yet. And, as you and I were just talking about at the beginning of the show, this is not actually condescending. This is sarcastic Hollywood condescending, but for only YouTubers to be able to, enter into a situation where they're making these two films. I could see Talk to Me failing and a studio going, well, shit, we've got all this on Bring Her Back. But thankfully, Talk to Me was a pretty great hit. People loved it. And then to me, Bring Her Back came and sort of blew Talk to Me out of the water. Not that Talk to Me is bad or anything. It's just a next level thing. And a lot of that is because you get just an unnerving performance from a child actor that does some crazy shit in that movie. You obviously have an actor that is opposite of this child that is known for being great. The Shape of Water got her a lot of acclaim, but God, Bring Her Back, she was maniacal and off kilter in a way that is not necessarily expected from somebody like her. And she was just so great in it. The setting of the film is great. The fact that the Philippou brothers can get those performances in only their second film kind of shows how great they have as a future of directors. Sally Hawkins, getting as vulnerable as she did in that movie for YouTubers when she's got the career that she had, and leading right after being with Guillermo del Toro and getting all this acclaim, it's just taking the risk on a very cult film. Hats off to her. That's not something that a lot of actors would have chosen to do, but I think it paid off in spades. I think the entire story is great. I think it's a very, again, like under your skin type of horror movie that will last. And I just love Bring Her Back. I thought it was really great.
Yeah. And it's got a little bit of the DNA of the Babadook in it as well.
Yes.
With the creepy kid. And Adelaide is the city in Australia that does the best horror movies. The Philippou brothers came out of there. A whole bunch of other Australian films, Babadook came out of there. It's just the town. It's also the serial killer capital of Australia. But But yeah, just fantastic stuff. And Raka Raka, the channel that the Felsley brothers had on YouTube, you can see them learning their craft on that channel if you look at the videos through it. There we go. Some of Us, a sweet gay Australian movie from 1994 with young Rusty as the main protagonist and his father played by Jack Thompson. That's another recommendation. Some of Us is terrific. I finally found a copy of it on DVD in charity store. I'm very happy I did.
Nice. Very nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I need to see the Some of Us. And yeah, the makeup effects and Talk to Me, just wild. That knife scene alone, God, I don't think I will ever be able to forget that knife scene.
Okay, I've got a Zach Hilditch movie. The guy who did We Bury the Dead, which is getting a physical media release soon. Tasmanian kind of zombie movie. About a decade and a bit ago, he did another movie called These Final Hours, which has got a killer concept. Basically, the other side of the Earth has been hit by an asteroid, and the city of Perth in Western Australia is the last place to go. It's going to get hit by the shockwave in a number of hours. And a guy is going to be with his girlfriend for the end of the world. There's no, Bruce Willis blowing up the asteroid. It's already happened. It's just that they ain't dead yet. And so he's about to go off with his girlfriend, and he sees two guys dragging a young girl into a house. And he takes them down, and the young girl wants to get to her mother. And this guy's not necessarily a good person, but he ends up going on this moral odyssey to help this young girl, played by Angourie Rice, find her mother before the end of the world. It's got beautiful shots around the outskirts of Perth, a city I love. It's got solid acting in it, and it is about when there are no consequences to anything you do, finding it in yourself to do the moral thing and to ultimately be comfortable with who you are. And all this set in an apocalypse. It's an incredible little film. And it ends on a beautiful grace note. I really like this one. I think it's underrated, particularly given the fact that most people don't think of Australian movies as being science fiction, where at its essence, this one is. Here's the back cover. It's just a forgotten Australian film that I really, really enjoy.
What year is that one?
I think it's from about 2016, something like that.
Oh, okay.
People correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it is fairly modern. Zach Hilditch, Australian directors have so much trouble getting their projects raised. And then he did We Buried the Dead, which is really good. Daisy Ridley's in that one, amongst other people. But These Final Hours, I think, is a banger.
Interesting. I need to see that one. Sounds great. All right. Next, two that you probably don't think a lot about as Aussie films, and one of them, quintessential Aussie filmmaker, that people probably don't even attach to this film. And I am certainly not saying this ironically, because I do want to highlight how much this movie rules. Recently released on 4K by Kino Lorber, the George Miller classic 1998's Babe Pig in the City. Genuinely great movie. And I'm not kidding. If you have not seen Babe Pig in the City in a very long time, highly, highly suggest watching it. It is delivering heart in a way that is rarely seen like this. Really strong performance from James Cromwell again. I love animals, and this was just a really great way to highlight them. Genuinely think it's an amazing sequel. Everybody needs to see this at least once. 4K from Kino. Looks pretty good. Can't complain too much. Tell me why you laughed at Babe Pig in the City.
Never seen it.
Oh, Terry.
I know. I'm a flawed person.
I love that I just went from Wolf Creek to Big Pig in the City, though.
Nice art there. You've done well.
I'm certainly trying to have a spectrum there. But yeah, George Miller. I mean, obviously everybody's going to talk about Mad Max until the day that they die. Fury Road, a modern classic. Literally, there's probably never going to be a movie like that ever again. I adore it, sure. But Babe Pig in the City, underrated, underseen, great childhood classic.
Yeah. I got one more for you if you want it.
Hit me.
This one's directed by Ivan Sen, First Nations director. First Nations cast. it's an Australian Western in its essence. It's a thing called Mystery Road with Aaron Pedersen and Tasma Walton's in there, about a cop called Jay Swan, played by Aaron Pedersen, who's a bit alcoholic. He goes back to his hometown because the body of a young girl has been found in a ditch. And his ex-wife lives there with his daughter and is estranged from both of them. And the local cops aren't interested in helping him because it's only an Aboriginal girl. It's not like it's a white girl. And there's a lot of racism in the town. And it develops into a character piece and into a Western. And there's a really great sniper battle with 2 hunting rifles between Aaron Pedersen's character, Jay Swan, and the other local cop played by Hugo Weaving, where they're both on outcrops of rocks shooting at each other. It's terrific. It's and it's a really great Western. It's just an amazing piece of film. It speaks to the way white culture has dissolved family and cultural bindings for Indigenous people. It's just amazing. Paul says he picked up that Blu-ray Mystery Road. There's a sequel too called Goldstone, which is about fly-in, fly-out mining workers, which has Aaron Pedersen in it again. There's a couple of TV series that the ABC did as well, including a prequel series with the character as a younger person. But this one blends some of the tropes of a Western with a deep knowledge of Australian Indigenous cultures. And there isn't just one. There were hundreds of Indigenous nations before the white people got here, all with their own cultures, all with their own languages. They had to use trade languages between them. It talks to that and talks to people healing from 238 years of colonization. Just an amazing film. If you like action films, it's an action film. If you like mysteries, it's a mystery. If you like movies about people, it's all of that. And it uses drone photography in a way that I don't think a white director would. Just the sense of the land is incredible in both Mystery Road and Goldstone.
All right. I definitely want to see that. Am I remembering right? Is the proposition is Australian too, right? Great movie.
It was, yeah. It's we're starting to question the Crocodile Dundee bullshit. And I'm there for that. I never watched the Crocodile Dundee movies. I was busy doing other things when they came out.
That makes sense. The last one that I totally forgot that this filmmaker was from Australia, and then remembering the history of where he started and who he was working with and all of that other fun stuff got me researching his life a little bit and where he's from and all of that fun stuff. But that led me to this film, which was a co-production with the U.S. and Australia. I think it was filmed in Victoria and a couple other places around there. Upgrade by Lee Winnell. I truly am still feeling like the incredible. We lingered on the tech and tech CEO bro side things earlier. This movie is kind of the first thing that brought a lot of that to the forefront for me. I truly loved the way he directed this. There's a lot of brand new kind of pushing the edge of kind of like cyberpunk, like modern cyberpunk-ish feelings in this. Upgrade is fun. It's well acted. I never remember the guy that's the lead. I think it's Marshall Gordon Green or something like that. Logan Marshall Green, that's his name. He puts on a really great performance as basically just like a personality-less CEO that is going to be controlled by his tech here. And it's this wild, just, control type of environment film that you see how tech is ruining a lot of things for people. And it is solid, wonderfully acted, some interesting ideas built into it. And I feel like not enough people talk about it. I think it was maybe slightly ahead of its time in a few different ways. And if it came out, height of COVID, it probably would have hit really hard for some people.
Yeah, a lot of us filmed down and around the Melbourne docks as well. So it's got that built-in look to it. Yeah, if you look in Lee Whannell's filmography as a director, he did a couple of really good films in Australia that don't get any love. James Wan, who he worked with. Lee Whannell's The Invisible Man was shot in Sydney. But James Wan broke out and did things like Aquaman movies and stuff like that. But Lee Whannell is interesting as well. He did, I think he's very underrated because James Wan sucked all the oxygen out of that relationship. And they're still friends, but Lee Whannell's gone his own path. And Upgrade I enjoyed.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Not one that I even realized was Australian until I did some research. But yeah.
So many of them aren't. I mean, there's movies like Diabolic, as I mentioned, which everybody speaks in with American accents, and it pretends to be in somewhere in, like the Midwest. But it's made in Australia, and it's an Australian film. It's just that the market needed to hear voices that were their voices, and because it was about the Latter-day Saints, they centered it in that part of America.
One I wanted to ask about, because I'm pretty sure you have seen this movie. Umbrella released it, and I've been very keen on seeing it because I know a friend that's in the chat right now really liked it. 10 Canoes. How do you feel about 10 Canoes? Have you seen that one?
I love 10 Canoes. I've got the, I think, Blu-ray or 4K that they put out with it. Rolf de Heer is a fantastic director. And the fact that it's all spoken in language, Indigenous language, and it's about 3 different eras before the white men came to Australia, and talks about how to be a man within that culture, and they use stories of the past to tell that story. 10 Canoes is amazing, and their colour grading gives you a sense of each of the different eras.
Ooh.
It's just really, it's like nothing else you've ever seen. And Rolf de Heer has worked with a lot of Indigenous people, particularly David Gulpilil before he died. And there was a lot of consultation with different skin groups and different Indigenous peoples up in the Northern Territory where he filmed it. So there's a lot of collaboration there. And it's one of those movies that will teach you more about First Nations cultures in Australia than many, many other things you're going to look at.
I guess that's a must.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Tony says, Rolf de Heer made some amazing films, especially Bad Boy Bubby and The Tracker. Bad Boy Bubby is wild. I don't recall. I don't think Bad Boy Bubby's had a proper U.S. release in quite some time. And I think people might finally be ready to see that movie.
It's a mad film, filmed in around St Kilda, where I was living at the time it was being filmed.
Huh.
And the guy who stars in it, I think it's Nicholas Hope. You can see him on television here in Australia now because he's doing ads for Aldi shopping centres and playing a creepy character in those. And you watch it and go, hey, that's Bad Boy Bubby.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny that he's in that. But it's just a mad movie, and it's one of those movies that, again, is not quite like anything else.
Right. Well, this has been great. I got a lot more stuff I need to check out, especially from Australia. Cool. Terry, this has been amazing. Thanks for hanging out.
Anytime, mate. We should do it again sometime.
Absolutely. If people are brand new to your channel for the first time, what video do you think is the best one to send them to watch for the first?
Oh, so I've done 300 or 400 of the buggers.
Yeah.
Just the latest one because I probably edited it better than I did the other ones. But I am going to be doing the Monsters and Curiosities box set.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to be doing that one for tomorrow if I get my shit together. And so you might as well look at the unboxing for that.
Can't wait. Eager to see what else you do next. A lot of your film coverage has been really fun to see the growth and the ability in sharing the videos that you do. Have watched your stuff for quite some time. I am always keen to see what you pick out. It's very, I don't know. It's you make some choices to cover some of the lesser looked at films. Imprint and Umbrella are putting out a wide swath of things, and I don't know. It's hard because both companies have hit a very mainstream audience, undoubtedly. Yeah. And sometimes they put out films that are very, very well known. And so many people are just excited. And I'm not taking it away from them. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You got the Halloween 4Ks. Yay. But like they've released 40 other films in the last 2 months. And 90% of those you've never heard of, let alone seen. And the creators that are putting some highlights on those are always exciting. And I do like some of the choices you make there.
Yeah, I mean, just getting Charlie and Fat 4Ks in Australia is just a buzz for us. And then on the other side, Umbrella does the cultish stuff. It does the Toxic Avenger box sets, which I loved. Everything on 4K, with lots of extras and books and art cards and all that kind of thing. We're just lucky here at the moment. It's just that moment in physical media history where the passionate people who built Imprint, via Vision, and Umbrella are just delivering. And everybody I've talked to from those companies are our people. They're our kind of people. They're not just there cynically for the money. They're passionate about film.
Well said. It's really interesting because you can tell. The amount of obscurities that they've been able to put out, especially, I've said we'd spent a lot of time on Imprint tonight. So just to kind of to give Umbrella a kiss as we leave for the night, I've always been very grateful for the Ausploitation single releases that they did on Blu-ray for years. The fact that they're doing the New Zealand box sets, the Kiwi cult stuff, they are giving contemporary like cult filmmakers a chance with releases out of Australia. That is a genuine risk. The ability to actually put money behind those things, that takes a lot, and I got to applaud them. It's a wonderful choice.
Yeah, and they put out a number of films, including some of my favorite Australian movies. That there's a thing called Goodbye Paradise, which is fantastic, and it was only ever available on VHS, and somebody else put out a transcription of the VHS copy of it. But they finally found the originals in the Film and Sound Archive in Canberra and put out a copy of Goodbye Paradise, which I love, and put it into the third Ausploitation Rarities box set. Just so many cool films that are coming out that I never thought I'd get a copy of.
Wow, that's a big deal. I love to hear that. I hope they keep doing it.
I do too.
All right,
they keep sending them to me.
So true. Everybody, please go check out Terry's channel. Check out his Patreon if you're keen on supporting him in that way. All the links in the description below. Terry, you're amazing. Thanks for hanging out. And
so
we'll
you,
have
mate.
you on again soon. We'll talk soon.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Y'all, be safe. Have fun at the sales this weekend. Thank you for listening to the Disconnected Podcast. There's one big thing that you could do to help the show, and that is to leave a rating and review on the podcast service of your choice. Thank you.
Hello!
This is Matt.
And Emily from Scarecrow Video in Seattle, Washington. Did you know that we have the largest video collection in the world? We have over 146,000 titles and growing. That's over 3 times more than Netflix, Amazon, Max, and Hulu combined.
Plus, Scarecrow now offers rent-by-mail service throughout the U.S., so check out scarecrowvideo.org for details. You can catch Emily and I, or Matt and I, if that was going to be you saying that, on our bi-weekly YouTube show, Viva Physical Media, for video recommendations and so much more.
See ya!
Bye!
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description